the Iranian war. Now, I want to say something we haven't talked about, and that is many who suggest that this war is some way, somehow, some sort of a deflection from Epstein, for instance. There could be validity to that. There absolutely could be validity to that. We are not talking about Epstein at all. Blue One Banks, appreciate the good galaxy. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. We're not talking about Epstein at all. So for anybody that is suggesting that this may some way somehow be a deflection from the Epstein conversation, it's hard to push back. It's hard to push back. I don't know for certain, but there's no way I cannot say that it is not, because Epstein was all in the news right before this war broke out. So, and by the way, when we ask, and I see James Harvard says, yes, it's a very real deflection. Well, I'm just simply saying, and before this war broke out, leads me to ask you folks a yes or no question. I want you to put in the comment section, yes or no to this question. Are we at war? Yes or no? Or is it just some sort of a conflict? Are we currently at war, or is this some sort of a conflict? As you guys know, over the weekend when this happened, a hell of a lot of folks, particularly Trump supporters, some of my beloved MAGA, was adamant that this was not a war. This is not a war. Some kind of conflict or some kind of skirmish. But many folks on the right from day one was saying this is not a war. So I'm asking you folks in the comment section, yes or no, are we at a war? Are we at war? And Jeremy, you're saying, I hope so. Why would you hope we are at war? What is the purpose of hoping that? Dencal says, yes, we are definitely at war. And Straight Talk says a conflict that has been going on for 46 years. This isn't the same conflict, Straight Talk. We got 10 nations, I think about 10 nations involved in this, because Iran is bombing other places that we are located to get the message across. This has not been going on for 46 years. What has started happening over the last weekend or so, this has not been happening for 46 years. So you make it sound like this is just more of the same. There's more to this than what we've been doing. So conflict or war, I'm going to say, oddly enough, and I'm surprised even for my MAGA audience, looks like, because I got more MAGA on YouTube, but it looks like most folks agree that we are at war. Most folks agree that we appear to be at war. I think the Trump administration is now kind of calling it war too. I don't think that they're still pushing this. It's just a conflict thing. I mean, you got President Trump openly admitting this could go on for weeks, if not a few months. So in regards to that, but anyway, I guess the follow-up question would be, and we'll certainly talk to this as you guys come up with the conversation, what exactly is the end game? What does success look like? What are we seeking? We've already gotten rid of their leadership there. So the bad guys are dead. They're gone. Just like with bin Laden, right after September 11th, we went over to the Middle East. Once bin Laden was dead, we were still there for quite a while. Bin Laden got killed under the Obama administration. Folks are still there for a while. So what is the end game? What are we trying to accomplish? I mean, we killed all of the perceived bad guys on day one. So what's the next 3-4 months that Trump is anticipating going to be about? Just blowing up the area? So we'll talk about that. Also, man, I got a couple of clips I want you to hear. This one here. Well, first of all, before I go into the clip section, I'll just go straight into it, because this is something President Trump said. And Hanson Conservative said, I know you are not a man of faith, but the Bible says 10 kingdoms will surround Israel. Interesting, that's what it looks like is happening. I don't know if I don't know if those countries are I think they're on the same side as Israel in the United States. Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Kuwait, I think they're on the same side. So I don't know if Israel is currently being surrounded, as you say, by 10 nations. I think they're on the same side of them. But I want you to, President Trump was in the Oval Office today, and he gave, he was interviewed by the media, and he made a couple interesting statements I want to tackle.
Mr. President, did Israel force your hand to launch these strikes against Iran? Did Netanyahu pull the United States into this war?
No, I might have forced their hand. You see, we were having negotiations with these lunatics, and it was my opinion that they were going to attack first. They were going to attack. If we didn't do it, they were going to attack first. I felt strongly about that. And we have great negotiators, great people that do this very successfully and have done it all their lives very successful. And based on the way the negotiation was going, I think they were going to attack first. And I didn't want that to happen. So
I gotta ask, this is another yes or no question. How many of you folks believe President Trump when he states that Iran was going to attack the United States, or I suppose Israel, or maybe even both? Do you guys believe what he's saying? You think that's accurate? That Iran was about to attack both the United States, Israel, maybe Israel? For what? Why was Israel, or better yet, why was Iran about to launch an attack? Or for what? Once again, I just asked you, now that we're fighting Iran, what is our end game? What is the end game? What would Iran be trying to accomplish by attacking the United States and or Israel? Iran was about to attack the West. Why? For what purpose? So, but you do hear President Trump saying that. So I do want to hear from you folks when we bring individuals up, if you believe that or not. Now, listen, we're talking about President Trump, so understand you always have to take what he says at face value. It does not come with evidence, and I don't believe you'll ever see any military evidence or surveillance or intel to suggest Iran was about to attack us. I don't think, I mean, that's just President Trump's MO. His method of operation is he says something and he generally never proves it. We've been talking about this for weeks about the Venezuelan drug boats. We're no longer in the Venezuelan theater anymore. If they were carrying drugs to the United States, there's nothing stopping him from showing evidence of that now. You're not going to see it. A lot of folks were suggesting while the operation was taking place down there in Venezuela, well, he can't show it because there may be some confidentiality or whatever. We're not down there anymore. There's no excuse for why you've bombed that many boats and you can't show evidence of a single one of them. So this is going to be like that. You're not going to see any evidence that Iran was about to attack. You're not going to see any evidence that those Venezuelan boats were carrying drugs or even headed to America. You're not going to see that. So, and I see in the comments, Straight Talk, you said you saw all kinds of footage. What footage did you see that proved those boats were headed to America and carrying drugs? I'd like to know that. How can the footage tell you what their destination is? They were blown up hundreds of miles from the United States. How can footage tell you that? Anyway, continuing on though, in regards to was Iran about to attack us, Israel, or both? I want to. This one here I thought was even more wild. This one here, because when we went into Iran, there are countries around the world that does not agree with that. And appreciate that, little baby. Thank you for the TikTok cap. Shout out to you. Appreciate that, little baby. Thank you. This is also something that was said at the Oval Office in regards to a NATO member ally.
Are you going to take the heat off Israel to protect
He's been asked the question.
Allies to also help you?
What does that mean?
Well, you have to ask our group if he said not as part of NATO, but to be helpful to you in this.
Well, some of the European nations have been helpful and some haven't. And I'm, very surprised. Germany's been great. He's been terrific. Others have been very good, terrific. I think that the head of NATO, Mark, is fantastic. Okay, Mark Rutte. I think he's fantastic. But some of the European, like Spain, has been terrible. In fact, I told Scott to cut off all dealings with Spain. Spain, first of all, it started when every European nation, at my request, paid 5%, which they should be doing. And everybody was enthusiastic about it, Germany, everybody. And Spain didn't do it. And now Spain actually said that we can't use their bases, and that's all right. We could use their base if we want. We could just fly in and use it. Nobody's going to tell us not to use it, but we don't have.
Did you hear that? That's what I should have had it queued up a little closer, but did you hear what he just said? Now, when we decided to attack Iran, some of our NATO member allies, not believing that attack was necessary, or some folks even feel like it was a violation of international law. So Spain, one of the countries, a NATO member nation, did not want us to use their airfields to take off and launch and attack Iran or operate in a theater. You hear President Trump clearly state, if we want to use their airfields, we'll just use it. Nobody can tell us no. So I'm going to ask a simple question. Do we own the world now? That we can literally tell our allies, the hell if you want us to use your bases, your airspace or your land or not. If we want to use it, we're going to just use your shit. It ain't like you can do nothing about it. How does that, this is an ally he's saying that to. How does that look, saying that to one of your allies? That if we want to use your airfield, we'll just fly over and use it. You're not going to tell us no. I don't know how that should be viewed, but man, does that sound like a hell of a lot of testosterone floating around.
Spain didn't do it. And now Spain actually said that we can't use their bases, and that's all right. We could use their base if we want. We could just fly in and use it. Nobody's going to tell us not to use it, but we don't have to. But they were. Can
you imagine how that looks? And I was just going to say the same thing Majik is saying, a piece of shit on the world stage. Can you imagine how that looks internationally? How that's likely going to be played on international media and on their newspapers, where you're just literally telling them we can use your territory. If we can say that to Spain, not long after threatening to take over Greenland, wouldn't that let all the other NATO member nations know you ain't safe either? That's the second NATO member nation he's pretty much told, fuck off. I suppose we could also toss in the idea of telling Canada, we don't need you, you need us as well, and you're going to be the 51st state, and referring to the Prime Minister of Canada as governor. So we haven't been exactly respectful to Canada either. I'm just trying to figure out if these NATO member nations still view us as allies. We certainly aren't treating them with respect. Last but not least, this one here.
And U.S. and Israeli strikes on Iran having a major impact on gas prices.
This one here, this is gas prices. I won't say we set a record, but we definitely had a notable day.
And U.S. and Israeli strikes on Iran having a major impact on gas prices. The biggest one-day jump in gas prices since Hurricane Katrina in 2005. According to AAA, the national average rose 11 cents today. The average price of gas now $3.11 a gallon. That spike follows the closure of the Strait of Hormuz. That is a key global oil route.
Largest increase since Hurricane Katrina in 2005. Now, remember Trump just at the State of the Union. When was the State of the Union address? Was that last Tuesday? A week and a day? He was talking about the average price of fuel was $2.20. So you hear this report now suggesting that the average price of fuel in the United States is over $3. So that's now Trump's $2.20 average. I don't think anybody believed that was accurate at the time, but we're now in the $3 range. So we're now in the $3 range. And I see Straight Talk says our gas prices did not go up 1 cent. Based on what data are you getting that from? I don't think there's anybody that believes gas prices didn't increase by 1 cent. If in your local area, you should be able to see this. I would just submit this to you. Walk in any gas station in your local area and ask them, did the price of gas go up from yesterday? It is that simple to pick up the phone and call one of them. Did the price of gas go up from yesterday? I think you'd have a hard time finding any single gas station that says, no, it didn't. For you to say gas didn't go up 1 cent makes you look like you've been sleeping for the last 48 hours or more. Chosen Law says, grow your hair out so we can see your hairline. You don't want to see that, buddy. You don't want to see. I've been bald since I was in my mid-20s. I shaved my hair off, and it's I've paid a price for it, but thank you for the input. Last but not least, and I do want to say this before we start going to the box. How many of you folks remember the thank you, Joe Biden, I did that stickers? How many of you folks remember these? You see them in regards to the high price of groceries, high price of fuel. You would see folks would affix these stickers in the grocery store. They would affix them to the gas pumps or whatever. I'm here to ask you folks, is it possible that we need to rethink changing the individual on the sticker? I'm just asking you guys. I'm sure some of you guys remember this sticker. Is it time that we consider changing the individual on the sticker? Tomorrow, you don't remember these stickers? Maybe you live in a fairly liberal area. I've seen these stickers. I was an over-the-road driver. I remember seeing these stickers in different places. But I'm asking, now that President Trump is in office and the price of groceries and fuel are nothing to brag about as well, should we perhaps change the individual on the sticker? So once again, we'll talk about that. Last but not least, here we go. We can start taking actual callers.
Absolutely, America.
How many of
last.
you
It's the same
heard
bullshit we've
this?
seen.
This is wild.
Happening. It is absolutely America last. It's the same bullshit we've seen. What is happening to the man that I supported? The man that denounced what happened in Iraq?
The war in Iraq was a big, fat mistake.
No more regime change. Promise it on the campaign. A year in, and we're in another fucking war, and we've got American troops being killed. All I can think about is the military-industrial complex. Those guys are lighting up their cigars, drinking their whiskey, and patting each other on the back because all they can think about is how much money they're going to make off the American taxpayers, making bombs, building new aircraft, building new drones, and building all kinds of military equipment just to kill people all over the world. While the American people, all they want is to be able to fucking afford a house, afford health insurance, and be able to maybe live the dream like the baby boomers did. They literally are trying to start World War III. It's completely out of control. It will never end.
You know this idea, you break it, you own it? I don't buy that one bit.
And Lindsey Graham, I saw a video of him this morning.
That mothership of terrorism has a hole in it.
He was choking back tears, swallowing back tears, because he was saying he was so proud of President Trump. He wasn't choking back tears for the American military members that have been killed and their families who are mourning their deaths right now. That's not MAGA. That is not MAGA. That's not America first. This isn't what we voted for. It's literally Israel first, and then where is it going to stop?
Wow, that's Marjorie. How long before she becomes a rhino? Oh my God, Marjorie Taylor Greene, MAGA don't want shit to do with that anymore. MAGA don't want shit to do with that. That's Marjorie Taylor. She's turning into quite the formidable foe. I mean, she didn't ride off quietly into the night. She apparently has a lot to say. So let's get the program going. Wow. Are we actually at war, and what indeed is the end game? What is the goal? What are we trying to accomplish? So looking in the comments, I see Barry says she is 100% right. You know, here's the thing I don't understand. And obviously, I lean somewhat left of center. I'm no fan of MTG because of her antics in Congress. I'm not a fan of Marjorie Taylor Greene, but I don't understand why MAGA is shooting her down. Because even though I'm no fan of her, I understand MAGA, I understand the right, and I will tell you, why is what she's saying not being viewed as the gospel truth? MAGA did indeed vote for America first. All we heard was we're going to stop getting involved in global conflicts. We're going to stop getting involved in foreign wars, all of that. He literally promised that, and she's making it clear this is what we voted for. So I don't understand why Marjorie Taylor Greene doing what amounts to the truth is drawing so much backlash from many in MAGA.
We will stop racing to topple foreign, and you understand this, foreign regimes that we know nothing about, that we shouldn't be involved with. We want to strengthen old friendships and seek out new friendships.
That's what she voted for. What he's on stage promising. What she's telling you is I voted for this dude. And what he is doing is not what he's talking about on stage. You hear him clearly say we're seeking out new friendships. He just told Spain just today, as you heard me play, that we'll take your runways and bases and use them if we want to. Does that sound like seeking out new friendships? Why is folks pissed off with Marjorie Taylor Greene when she is right? His agenda has changed. I don't get this. So let me go back to the box and we'll start the program up. I don't understand why she's getting so much criticism from many on the right when it sounds like she has a point. So maybe I'll get some of the viewers to correct me or enlighten me on what she said is wrong, what the end game is, and whether or not we were actually about to be attacked by Iran, which is what Trump just said. Let me go to the guests. I don't know why I'm going to bring up guests, and because they're MAGA. Marjorie Taylor Greene was MAGA, so I don't get that. What is the mantra of MAGA? You just have to accept everything. You can't criticize anything. I mean, because it's hard to deny she is not right in saying that. Good afternoon, or maybe good evening. What am I getting wrong? We're not fluffing today, right?
No, yeah, you always fluff. You're always on your knees. I swear to God, you like those corn puff looking roaches over there on the other side. Hell yeah, you do.
Why would you attack?
What's up, Pookie?
Why are you attacking the other side? Let me ask you this. Speaking of attacking, do you agree with Trump that Iran was about to strike us?
No, this imbecile of a fucking roach. All he's doing, hey, golly, the Epstein files must be some deep shit on God, because he is doing everything. He's trying to keep our black asses out of the voting. Now he's doing this. Our gas prices, my gas price is over $5 damn. You feel what I'm saying?
What were they? Well, you're not blaming all that on Trump, though, are you? I mean, you live.
Oh, get that cock out your damn mouth.
No, I'm serious. If you're paying $5 for gas, which the man clearly said the average.
Jumped. What the hell are you talking about, Willis? I woke up today, went to my fat ass to the pump after I went to the gym. My pump was over $5 damn a gallon.
How much was it under Biden?
Now $5 damn.
We get that, but how much was it?
Mine, it probably was over $5 damn. It probably was, because I'm in Cali. I ain't gonna lie.
So why you hating on Trump? Trump ain't did shit. Why you hating?
The difference between Biden and, the snow roach is different. He didn't put us in a WAR. Okay? The companies.
After your gas prices argument, you sound like you just got Trump derangement syndrome.
No, I'm just saying it's the truth. That's why it went over $5.
Well, it
literally jumped overnight. Well, you rugrat.
Well, while you're going off,
yes, we are at a war.
Hold
you
on.
Dumb nut.
Let me interrupt you and say this. We do have, as you see on the back, the sign there. If an individual sends a galaxy, they mean they want to stretch you straight.
I would dog white. Yo, guess, my Negro.
There you go. Jeremy, welcome to the program. Okay, well, you got to let him speak. He's not
speaking. Look, he ran like a little bitch.
No, Jeremy.
I'm still here, you dumb cunt.
Hey, your mama's a cunt, bitch.
Okay, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Let's have a civilized. Let's have a civilized show now.
No, that's your mama, bitch. Your mama shows 12.
No, she got all that. Shut up.
$15 an hour. $15 an hour.
Shut up.
Get the hell out of here.
Okay, Gangster, you gotta let him talk. You gotta
Here's the problem.
You gotta let him talk. Okay, go ahead.
No, I'm not gonna let that.
That is no. How the hell you wait?
Two damn words to that man.
How you gonna invite?
You're a coward. You can't fucking debate. You can't debate because you're a coward. You're a coward. You can't debate. You're a coward who can't debate.
Get your ass, get gone, bitch. Goodbye.
He actually,
No, look around.
I'm not fucking leaving.
$15 an hour. I got.
yeah, he actually does make you look bad, gangster, when you can't even let him talk.
He called me a cunt, you sorry bitch.
You didn't.
You had it coming.
You had
I
a.
didn't say 2 shits to him.
You had.
You said a bunch of shit.
You
You always say shit when
didn't.
you're up here.
Okay.
I didn't say nothing to you. And you
And you're
disrespected
racist.
me. You white trailer trash ass bitch.
Okay, I'm giving you 10 minutes, Jeremy. But Jeremy, go ahead and give me your opening statement.
Okay, here's what I'm going to say. Okay, so to all the lobotomites who can't understand foreign policy, look, we shouldn't have gotten involved in this war in the first place. But now
Well,
that
I
it's
spoke
here,
to
we
Ben.
Hang
totally-
on, let me hear him. Let me hear him, gangster. Let me hear
fucking
him.
finish. But now that the can of worms has been opened, we need to finish what we started. We need to
No,
actually
we
finish this
shouldn't.
war. Yes, we should.
No,
And here's
we
why.
should have been
And here's
over
why.
there, Jeremy.
Number one.
6 people unalive, Jeremy, for nothing. All this was behind a lie, Jeremy.
Andy,
All this was.
Andy, you want in on
exactly
this?
why we went to war. We went to war because of
Yeah,
of
bring her
Israel.
ass up too. We're gonna
Israel.
love the fuck
Okay,
your ass.
gangster, you gotta let other people talk though. You talking over
He
everybody.
has been talking. What the fuck are you talking about?
You
Okay.
cut me off mid-sentence because you can't fucking argue. That's why.
Are we gonna be kinder to the men than the women? Because he came up here and called her all kind of names.
Yeah,
And you didn't
thank
talk
you.
shit. You let him bully
You
her
had it coming.
without any kind. Shut up.
Get together.
You.
Or what? What are you gonna do?
Oh, I paid
Wait,
to sit up here and be
hold
louder
on.
than your ass on purpose. If you're gonna
Let's do it.
overtalk her and be loud as fuck, then I'm gonna be loud as fuck. See how that works? Now you want to
Yeah,
be
girl.
respectful? We can get respectful.
Okay.
Like she knows anything close to respect.
I
She's
do,
never
but unfortunately, I don't like your fucking
I know
dumb
better
ass.
than you.
You came at me first, you stupid knuckle butt.
You always
You
talk
big
shit
butt.
up
You know
here
what? At
about
the end of
me.
the
So
day, you
guess
gonna be
what?
my bitch
You had
if
it
you
coming.
know. You like to be taking the
We
ass.
shouldn't
How
be in
about
the Middle
that?
East. Hold on, Grady.
Go ahead,
Come
Andy.
on. We shouldn't be in the Middle East.
We shouldn't
because Donald
be.
Trump himself
We
said
have a
over the
responsibility.
weekend.
Hold on. Let me hear Andy. Hold on, folks. Hold on. Andy, go ahead.
After he talked to Congress, he said the only reason we went after the Ayatollah is he was afraid he was going to get him first. We have no intel behind that. This is Donald Trump's feelings. We went to war over a feeling. You know, what happened to F your feelings, the Republicans said. You know, they're all about that feeling. And now, since we have no intel and Congress is just out here on a limb, they don't like that shit either.
They don't.
So
I
your
never said
guest
that
can
we went
sit
to-
here
I
and
never-
gaslight you if he wants to, but realistically, your Congress don't even like this. Republican Congress, they all know this is a clusterfuck.
Yeah, but they ain't saying
we
nothing,
shouldn't
no,
be
Andy.
doing.
Because
Why
I
we're
like
causing?
bitches.
Yeah,
We
but-
can't cause regime change in two countries. What the fuck is wrong with us?
I already said that I
And
don't
we're doing
believe
a
that.
piss poor
No,
job
hold on. I'm going to talk now, okay? I already said that I don't
No.
believe. No, I'm going to fucking talk. You can
Oh,
fucking
shut
walk.
Okay,
up.
listen. What I may hold on. What I may do is give each one of you a minute, then mute everybody because we're not gonna get anywhere like this. So go ahead, Jeremy. I'll give you 30 seconds, and then we'll go to Gangsta Grandma, and then we'll go back up to Andy. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Okay, so here's the thing. Well, I never said that I believe President Trump's stated reason and for doing what he did. What I believe is that he is obeying what Israel wants, which is not a good thing. However, we already removed the leadership. We need to finish what we started because otherwise this country is not going to be able to restabilize. And yes, we have gone into foreign nations and taken over their governments.
What does the finish look like? I just want to ask you. What you said? I want to ask you. You said finish.
Japan.
You said finish what we started. What does the finish look like? The bad guys are dead already. So what are you trying to accomplish?
The IRGC is still operating in there, and they need to be taken out and finished off. And the Shah needs to take back over.
Gangsta Grandma.
We should never have went over there and did it. This is another Iraq all over again. Every time we touch another country, it goes to hell. Like Iraq. We did 20 years over there. Behind what? Behind what? Saddam. Behind what? A lie. And I have personal people over there that are alive. My husband died behind that shit. And now 6 more people died behind a lie. All this is behind lies. We shouldn't be over there. We should have took his ass out. It's none of our business. I thought this was America first, right? Instead of taking food stamps and stuff, now we're over there getting unalived, and now we're going to have to ask for help because all our weapons will go to hell.
Andy, do
Spain doesn't even want us over there.
Do you agree with that sentiment, Andy?
Absolutely. First of all, we went over to Venezuela with no plan. We still don't have a plan for that shit. Second of all, then we go to Iran and we take out their leader, but we also take out our first and second choice to replace him because we ain't got no damn sense. And I'm with Grandma. Those balls must be a mother of a effer, because one of the things he said right before all this shit went down is, I don't care if we got to start a war, make them stop. So I guess that's what we're doing. We're going to make them stop one way or another. He thinks he's going to get rid of the people's perception of what he the fuck did, but we ain't forgot. And Tim, I'd have much rather come up here and talk to you one-on-one. I had a decent conversation today with so much in the world coming on, and not just come up here and moderate your fucking panel over some man being a dick to a woman.
Well, you still can.
No, women are sensitive and they can't handle bad words. I thought they were strong. My bad.
We were going so well. We were doing so well. Okay. Well, first of all, Andy and Jeremy, you guys came up today, but I can certainly bring you up a little bit later on in the program. That's okay. But so Jeremy, even you think that a lot of this is a bad idea, though? I mean, because obviously both ladies.
It's a bad. Yes, I do. However, here's my position. Sometimes when you fuck up, you need to finish what you start. Okay? If we don't finish what we start, the IRGC is going to still build up all sorts of ammunition. They're going to get support from people who are sympathetic to their cause, from foreign nations, and they're going to become basically a mini Hezbollah or Hamas in the nation, and they're going to keep the area from being stabilized.
You think you can stop that?
You know, the IRGC.
But we didn't say we were going to finish. What Donald Trump says is, I want y'all to all run out in the streets and fix it afterwards. That's what his dumb ass said. Because apparently we don't have a plan now that we've got off the second and third choice. So Donald Trump's just saying, when I get y'all free, y'all run out in the streets and do it for yourself. Which is crazy statesman crap, if you ask me.
He is saying that.
In their right mind.
He did say that.
Anything so ignorant.
He is.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's stupid of him to say, although I do think that the only way he could come out of this as halfway decent is by arming and training them, but I don't think he's going to do that. With that being said, we do need to finish what we start, because otherwise the region will be unstable and it won't make any sense. And we won't even get any oil out of it.
No matter what we do.
We shouldn't be taking their resources.
Should have been there. Countries in there. Every country we have touched is unstable. Look at Iraq right now. Look at it right now.
Iraq and Iran are not clones. They're not the same country.
At them,
no, she didn't say, Jeremy, she didn't say that they're clones. She said all of the countries we go in, and we talk about Libya, all the countries we go in and we replace dictators, they're not stable after we leave. That's true.
No, Germany is stable. Japan is stable.
We didn't leave Germany. We're still in Germany. We didn't leave Japan. We're still in Japan.
We're still there.
We don't control the governments. We just have bases there.
We're not going.
Still there.
We're
We
still
don't control their governments.
Well,
hey, Jeremy, that's why I tell you, you knucklehead mofo.
Yeah, you just did it to him.
The two French fries don't short of a fucking French fry. Let me tell you something. We are still in Japan. We are still in Germany.
We don't control their governments. We have no control of their governments or how they operate.
Wait. You are cherry picking the only two examples where we partially let the government place too. Stop talking. Because Libya, we took out Gaddafi. The person you're complaining about right now in Iran, who do you think put him there? I'll wait.
The communists.
And look what we're doing to Cuba right now. We're starving them.
We did. We put that dictator in place.
We didn't put Ayatollah Khomeini in there.
But look what we're doing at Cuba right now.
Did.
Jeremy.
No, we kind of overthrew the Shaw and elected.
All right, folks.
Jeremy.
As promised.
Are you historically ignorant?
No, as promised, I said 10 minutes. We're at 12. I do gotta do what we normally do. Andy, you set me straight, and I'll certainly bring you back in a little bit. But Andy and Jeremy, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, moving on with the program, and I don't know what I just hit there, but we'll go ahead and move on.
Okay, look.
Go ahead.
Let me tell you something. You see that how ignorant that mofo was?
Come on now. The man ain't here to defend himself.
No, let me tell you something. I go to bat for your sorry, bald-headed black ass. I do. I don't let nobody else talk shit. But you allow a fucking white man come and call me a cunt. And then say 2 fucks. You know what? You don't have no fucking balls. I got bigger balls than you. You are a pathetic ass excuse for a fucking man. And you ain't even a black man like that. A fucking white woman had to come up and defend me.
What the?
That's the fucking shit. You don't have no balls. That's why I say you kiss their ass. That's why I say I terrorize your fucking ass. Because you ain't shit of a fucking man.
Okay, let me give you a bit of clarity. And I see in the comments somebody said
No,
you
there
had,
ain't no
hold on,
clarity.
hang on. Let's have a conversation. Right before
You
he
see how you don't defend a black woman? but
because
you
you're
can't
not
talk to
letting
women?
it, you're just
You
talking
see
over
that,
me.
Tim?
Okay, the point I'm trying to make is when he came up and called you a name, the reason why it didn't resonate with me that he was attacking you first is because you were attacking the hell out of me, and he came on the program and said something about
No, Tim, shut up. Shut up. Quit kissing ass. Shut up.
you. You weren't attacking
You're
me.
kissing ass.
You were
You're
not
kissing
attacking
ass,
me.
Tim.
You were
You're
not
kissing
attacking
ass,
me.
Tim. He attacked me. I didn't say nothing to him.
No, you were
I didn't
busy
say nothing
attacking
to him.
me. You were
I was
attacking
talking
me.
crap to you. And then he attacked me. But you know what? If it was a white woman, you'll go head to head, right? But now, you see how you are? That's why I disrespect your ugly ass. That's why I call you a ratty raccoon. That's why I call you Uncle Ruckus. Because you always defend the white tea people, but you'll never defend a fucking black woman. So if you ever, I'll never defend you again. And when they ask over there hanging your
When
ass,
did you
and talking
defend
that
me?
Shit, I won't say 2 fucking.
When
until you do
all
the
I
really
know is
goddamn thing you did.
gangster, I only know you from attacking me. When did you defend me?
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
When your ass is on other lives, you numb nut. I'll be in there fucking fighting with them. I sure do.
Okay.
What the fuck, man?
All right.
And when they talking mad shit, they be kicking me out because I go straight ham. You Uncle fucking Ruckus? Yes, I do. I be attacking them. But yeah, you can't have my back. You like that grimy ass $15 hour mutt. Do you ever know who his daddy is?
All right, I gotta move it on. I'll leave it at that. I gotta move it on. Gangsta, you don't make it easy, but thank you for coming through. Anyway, tap the screen. I don't know how I got on the wrong side of Gangsta Grandma like that, but I can't always win everyone. Tap the screen, get us on up to 30,000. I seen somebody in the comments said they didn't favor. Look, sometimes when I'm debating with a guest, a lot of viewers do not believe I am pushing back in the appropriate angles or that they have something to add, which is where the whole galaxy, you can debate with the guests. I know some folks don't like it. I get it. I will tell you this, though. Generally, if the sparring is civilized, I don't think it will be like what you just seen. Because some folks are like, I don't like that. I can't hear it. Look, if it's civilized, you don't get that. So we're going to try to find. Look, if I got to mute one guest and give them each a minute each or whatever, we'll play around with it. I'm not used to having multiple guests on, but I'm only doing this because I asked you folks and polled you folks, and you said this is what your favorite. So, and it does help with some of the support of the program. So we're gonna roll with it for now and see how it works. But we want the primary goal of the program is to let everybody speak and have a civilized program. So we're gonna see if we can make it work. The disrespect and name calling is uncalled for, though, says Yellow. And I would like to not have that as well, Yellow Sunflower. I absolutely would. In fact, I would like to have the same thing in the Oval Office, but I don't always get what I want. I've been saying since Trump got elected, I don't like the disrespect and name calling, and I've been told to go to hell, and now here it is on my very own program as well. But in regards to what they were saying, before I go to the next call, I want to say something, because Gangsta Grandma was talking about the Iraq War. Is this Iraq 2.0? And I want to tell you, when you look at the fact that we were suggesting that Iran had an evil dictator that we had to take out, that was killing his own people, and he was pursuing a nuclear weapon, a weapon of mass destruction. I'm sure you've heard that term before. We're not going to see any proof that Iran was actually trying to get a nuke. You're not going to get proof of that. You're not just like you didn't get proof that Iraq had a weapon of mass destruction. And then, of course, we go in there and the belief is it'll be over fairly quick. This does sound a hell of a lot like the Iraq War. It has most of the same bullet points of the Iraq War. And even up to the point where Dick Cheney was quoted as saying they will view us as liberators. Is that not what the Trump administration is indicating, that we're freeing the citizens and they'll view it that way? I mean, there's a lot of bullet points of what is going on in Iran that sounds very similar to what happened in Iraq. Weapons of mass destruction, a dictator killing his own people. It's going to be quick. Don't worry about it. I mean, when we went into Iraq, it was the same thing. The belief was it'll be a pushover. We'll be done with this very briefly. They don't have anywhere near the force to maintain. We'll take care of this pretty quick. All of this, there is so many comparisons that to me, I don't know if I can actually accept that these two have no similarities to them at all. I can think of at least 5 different things. Anyway, looking in the comments, and I see Straight Talk says, you're telling lies does not make the point true. I don't know what lie you're suggesting, but we'll continue on with the show. And we'll make it happen with Gixer Ryder. Trump doesn't care about it being in America's business. This is Trump's business. Well, he may be profiting from it. Gixer, good evening.
What's up, brother, man?
Not much at all. Not much at all. So do you think what Trump is doing in Iran is a noble deed, a good thing to do?
Oh, without a doubt. And the parallels, obviously, that you just drew between the Iraq-Afghanistan war that we had in the past. The difference is that we're not manhunting this time, right? And that's where we failed in those previous wars, is that we were hunting Saddam Hussein, we were after bin Laden. So we had to stay there until we get them. The difference here is that we're not so much going after a specific person. In fact, we're the ones that's being hunted. If you remember, they did try to unalive the president.
Well,
twice.
all of the heads of state of significance have been killed. So what are we still there for? If we're not head hunting, as you said, we were looking for Saddam. All of their people are dead already. So why are we still there?
Well, let's look at what happened in Venezuela. Obviously, you cannot just eliminate the entire regime and then just leave it at that, because historically that has failed. I feel like this administration historically took a different approach in Venezuela, and they're taking the same approach in Iran. I think that the administration, along with Israel, already have an inclination of who they're going to put in power. And 2 things have to be true in order for stability to prevail. That person that will take over Iran must be Iranian. They must have no ties to Israel, and they must not be a sort of puppet of the Mossad, because that's a recipe for disaster. And that's where we failed in the past. We put in our own puppet that had ties to these other governments that the Iranian people were not particularly fond of. So it must be an Iranian leader. And I think that they have an idea of who they're gonna put in place, and they want somebody that's sort of like the leader that's in Venezuela currently now, that's gonna be willing to negotiate with them. You can't have a crazy person in there. You can't have somebody that was in there before that unalived 30,000 people, because negotiation will not work. You cannot reason with crazy people. So you have to put somebody in there with some.
But how do we now? I don't know if you heard earlier what I played about President Trump talking about he can just take just use the land of Spain whether they want to or not. How do you respond to some folks who might say the way Trump is talking, he is a crazy person? I mean, he is talking about taking over Greenland and stuff. We can't go take out the head of Iran because they're talking crazy when our own president is saying stuff. I mean, some folks think he's crazy too.
Well, here's the thing. Trump also said that there were airports in the Revolutionary War. Trump says a lot of stupid stuff. He says a lot of bombastic stuff.
Yeah, but he's saying threatening stuff. But
here's the difference. Here's the difference, though. There's a difference between what Trump says, and there's a difference between you mowing down 30,000 of your own people. That is crazy. There's a difference between that, and there's a difference between saying that, you're going to unalive America and you're going to unalive Israel. That's particularly crazy. And when you say that you have and you're willing to use nuclear weapon, and being the only country that's really so open about it, there's something wrong.
What is the difference? Okay, what is the difference between saying death to America and telling the people of Greenland, we're going to take over your country whether you like it or not? What's the difference?
Listen, I don't think you even believe you really think we're going to unalive and go in there.
I don't think they're going to perpetrate death to. I don't think they're going to perpetrate death to America either.
Donald Trump already said explicitly, we will not use military force for Greenland, and I think
no, he didn't. No, he didn't. He originally said that.
No, he did. He did. At the UN, what was it?
So he never in his presidency, not once did he ever say that military force was not off the table to take over Greenland.
He did at the Davos meeting. He said we will not use military force.
Yeah, but what about all the stuff he said before that? Do they just ignore that?
Look at what's going on now. Donald Trump isn't even concerned about Greenland. Donald Trump talks a lot of shit.
Okay, what you I think what you're expecting is the world to view Trump the way you do, where you kind of know when he's joking or when he's full of shit. The world ain't looking at that. Like, he's made some pretty damning statements.
No, and that's a fair point, right? I feel like, obviously, being that Donald Trump is the president and I'm an American citizen, I would know better than other people. But at the end of the day, you have to go based off of actions, right? You can't, because
Death to America is not based off of any actions, and you're taking that seriously. It's not.
They attempted to unalive the sitting president 2 times, not 1 time, 2 times, and beyond that, I think a lot of people seem to forget 50 Americans were unalived on October 7. I don't think people talk about that quite nearly enough as they need to. 12 Americans were taken hostage. What the were we doing?
Yeah, but that was done by Hamas. I mean, they have
Hamas it's an arm of Iran. Let's be honest here. Hamas, Hezbollah, these are all arms of Iran, and they would not exist without Iran. And this is the historical failure that other presidents have participated in.
Well, some of the stuff you're talking about is propaganda. Because I mean,
how is it propaganda? Hamas is not an arm of Iran.
I mean, with all the weapons the Biden administration gave to Ukraine, are they an arm of the United States when they were fighting Russia? I mean, what's the difference? Tell me what's the difference between the Ukraine getting a bunch of weapons from us and using them on the Russians versus Hamas? When you say they're an arm of Iran, an arm in what way?
An arm in the sense that they're a proxy of terrorism. Here's the difference. The Budapest Memorandum, that's an agreement. That's a formal agreement, and Ukraine is an ally. Not by way of NATO, but by way of the Budapest Memorandum. So we were obligated to help Ukraine. Yeah, Republicans were hesitant of how much money we should give to them and how long. But at the end of the day, we had a formal agreement to give them.
How do you know Hamas doesn't have some kind of agreement with Iran?
No, that's the problem. They do. It's a bad agreement. It's agreement to end the West. That's far different than Ukraine.
And you don't think the Monroe Doctrine and some of the things we operate with are the same? They want to take over
Hell no.
Yeah, I mean,
hell no.
I don't.
You are talking about a proxy that wants to destroy civilization versus Ukraine, who just want to live without Russia unaliving their people.
What has Iran done to show you they want to destroy civilization? Where are you getting that from?
I don't know if you're being serious.
Civilization?
Listen.
What have they done to indicate that?
Death to the West.
That's just what, according to you, it has to be based on.
Okay, perfect. Look at this. Watch this. This is the perfect delineation of my point. Look at what they're doing now. They are attacking every single countries that don't even have anything to do with what's going on. They're attacking hotels. They're attacking citizens that are non-militants. They are just throwing bombs all over the place. And this is them being their weakest. Now, imagine them with nuclear weapons, or imagine them 2 years ago when they had
nuclear weapons. I'll tell you something. If they had nuclear weapons, we wouldn't be fucking with them. This wouldn't be happening.
Exactly.
Yeah, this wouldn't. By the way, they're not just randomly attacking other nations. They're attacking nations that aided in us attacking them. If we were fighting Russia, if America was fighting Russia, and Cuba allowed Russia to land planes on that island to go and launch attacks in Cleveland, we would attack Cuba. They're attacking nations that are aiding in the assault.
We would attack military bases and military technology. We are not gonna go bomb the fucking Horton Suite where they have millions of people that are.
So then I have to ask you, based on what you just said, how the hell did a school just get blown up this weekend and cost the lives of 180 some odd schoolgirls? If we don't do that, how did that happen?
Right, here's how that happens. For one, why the hell is a school in such close proximity to a military operation? And by the way, that same school
now you got an excuse.
That same school used to be up. If you look at the satellite images from 5 years ago, 10 years ago, that school used to be a part of that military base. And And now I'm not saying that it was a mistake by any stretch of the imagination. I'm sure that maybe it could be intentional because I'm not particularly fond of Israel. I'm not going to continue to give them the benefit of the doubt. But what I can say is that Hamas and Iran, they purposefully and strategically use innocent people, including their own citizens. And this is why you have
all them Venezuelan drug boats blowing up. And you talking about using innocent people? We wanted to show Maduro a lesson, so we started blowing up boats in the middle of the ocean that we could have easily stopped. We didn't have to kill them people. You're talking about innocent people being killed. You don't think we do none of that, huh?
So how long have we been trying to stop those drug boats? 10, 20 years now? Have they stopped? Of course not. The issue have only accelerated.
Give me the solid evidence that drugs were on the boats.
So you mean to tell me that a 1,500 horsepower boat going hundreds of miles per hour somehow is a fishing boat?
No, I didn't say that. I'm saying show me the boat was carrying. Show me the boat.
Engines.
Show me the boat.
I've never seen
I need to see two things. I need to see two things. First, show me the boats that were blown up were actually coming to the United States, and show me they had drugs on them. Just because there's a boat with 5 outboard engines, that don't mean it wasn't going from Venezuela to Nicaragua somewhere. Why are you blowing it up? Show me it's coming to America.
And to be fair, the vast majority of the rugs that are leaving Venezuela typically goes to Europe. It doesn't. Some of it comes to the U.S., but most of it goes to Europe. Now, in all honesty, I do believe that the Trump administration should have used that as a precursor in order to get Maduro. And you can say what you want about that, sure, but at the end of the day, it's for the greater good.
You blew up he blew up almost a dozen boats. Should he show at least one was carrying drugs? I mean,
he did.
He did?
Classified briefs, and yes, the Gang of Eight are constantly briefed on these issues by Marco Rubio, and our intelligence committees are briefed even before the strikes happen. Just because the media don't know about these things, and by the way, this is the stupidity of the vast majority of the American people and the media. Why the hell would you go on public television, and this also relates to Iran? Here's what we're gonna do. Here's what time we're gonna do it. Here's how we're gonna fight. It's just ridiculous.
They're dead already. These people. No, it's over with. You're not really messing with. Now that it's over with, show us some proof that some of the boats you blew up last year was that way. I mean, there's nothing stopping them from showing evidence to that now. The double strike, where he blew up a boat, the people were still clinging onto the wreckage, and then he killed them. Show us the evidence.
Listen, I will not lose sleep at night to knowing that these rug runners were unalived and how they were unalived.
I wouldn't either if I actually believed they were rug runners. Fishermen. I don't have any evidence. I don't have any evidence of what he said. Just like you told us he made a deal with Greenland. I don't have any evidence this stuff is happening.
There is a lot of evidence out there. Congress were briefed on this. Even Democrats came back and say, you know what? Yeah, sure, it's rug boats. But then they move the goalposts and they say, wait a minute. So even if it is rug boats, you're not just allowed to unalive them. You notice how they move the goalposts later on.
But that is true too. That actually is true too. You're not allowed to just blow them up if they were just drug boats. That actually is true. So
okay, so let me get this straight. We're not allowed to unalive them, but they're allowed to unalive thousands of our citizens. Yeah, no, that's not how it's gonna work.
They're not unaliving. Wait, hold on. They're not. You make it sound like they're bringing something.
Do you know how many people unalive from
violence? So what are you going to blow up a Philip Morris truck because they're bringing cigarettes? You know how many people die from cigarettes? They're smoking the shit voluntarily. It ain't like the drug boat is going to come to America and then force the shit down people's throats. There are people on the shores waiting for that to get here. So no, you don't just kill them. They're bringing stuff that the American citizens are going to voluntarily ingest. No, you don't kill them.
Yeah, we have a difference of philosophy.
Yeah.
I agree with Pete Hegseth when he said stupid rules of engagement. Yeah, I feel like to the parent that lost that child that would have otherwise been alive, they're looking at this like, keep it going. They don't give a about no damn, oh, you're not allowed to do this. Because guess what? The cartels don't care about what they're allowed and not allowed to do.
I don't see, based on the arguments you're making, I don't see what's the difference between the guy bringing fentanyl over and people selling cigarettes. I mean, it still kills. Should you blow up a cigarette truck?
That's a ridiculous argument. If you're going to use
does cigarettes kill? Does cigarettes kill?
It do. Not always, but it do.
Right.
It
So
that's the difference. But guess what can also unalive you? Driving a car. Does that mean you're gonna go
No.
bomb Tesla?
Fentanyl,
Of course not.
Fentanyl don't always
It's not
kill
apples and
either.
oranges.
Fentanyl don't always kill either. What's the difference? I'm trying to help me out. That don't always kill.
Driving a car can potentially.
I didn't say
unalive
nothing
you.
about
That's
cars.
not-
You went. We're talking about
Because I'm showing
ingesting
how
substances.
ridiculous your
We're-
cigarette example
I'm
is.
listening to
Drinking
you.
can unalive you. Does that mean you're gonna go bomb a
What
liquor
I'm
store?
trying to find out is why are we killing folks that are carrying one deadly substance and letting folks that may carry another deadly substance live?
Because 100% will unalive you.
That
and
ain't
the other
true.
is just
If fentanyl is
It
used in the
is.
medical community, it doesn't 100% unalive you. That is not true.
now we're talking about medical administration versus
It don't
personal
kill.
use.
It doesn't 100% kill people who use it recreationally. They don't all die. Who told you that?
What about the person that just want to go smoke some devil's lettuce and then they don't know anything about
They don't. Everybody who
F-drug,
ingests fentanyl
and they
does
don't know anything of how to take it safely? That is a 100% death sentence, as it is often the case. You seem to forget that the majority of the F-drug is not unaliving people from them taking F-drug directly. It's from stuff being laced. That's the caveat.
I actually think that you swallowed the propaganda wholeheartedly. Everybody that ingests fentanyl doesn't die. That just simply put, even the ones that use it, the
That is
drug,
a
they do
ridiculous
not
argument.
die. Everybody does not
And even
die.
if they and let's go down that route, right? And I can attest to this personally, but I won't use that anecdote. Even if they do not die, do you know that this rug can cripple you mentally? If you survive, you will be having seizures for the rest of your life, and you will basically be a handicapped person. And I know somebody
That doesn't happen to
plenty of
everybody
people
that use it either.
And I don't care if it's a 100% or a 50% chance. That shit should not be coming in the country, and I will not lose sleep at night from these people being unalive.
But that is why I asked you then why don't you do that to tobacco? All the stuff you're talking about. How many people get cirrhosis of the liver from alcohol and they're crippled? That happens to all the other substances. Why is fentanyl getting a different?
Do you know that certain food products that they sell in our grocery stores can give you cancer? Does that mean you're gonna go bomb Walmart?
I'm just trying to figure out
Sir,
why
you
is
realize
fentanyl
that
getting
his
treated so differently. Andy,
His
go.
argument is actually making your argument silly, sir, because we have all these other substances that will unalive you a hell of a lot quicker, too. And you are sitting here saying we should unalive people in a boat, not within our jurisdictions, not within our borders, within someone else's borders. That makes you sound like a mad dictator.
I'm a mad dictator for
What's going
protecting
on in the
Americans.
desert is called Islamophobia. That's what's going on in the
Islamophobia.
desert.
Oh
Yep,
Lord!
because
Here
y'all
we
are
go.
all
We're gonna
afraid.
hide behind the race and the
Stop
religion
talking
and all
over
that
me.
shit.
Let her finish and then you can go.
Poor little man, you cannot let a woman finish. So here we go. The reason it's Islamophobia is, like I said earlier, Donald Trump said the only reason he went after the man is he feared he would come after him. Not even the United States, him personally. The United States has, things to protect him, but when he does things like that, he endangers us all. And the fact that you don't know that, and you keep babbling bullshit, talking about Pete Hegseth. Pete Hegseth is an 04. Most of the generals think he's not even qualified as an ex-major to give them orders and think he's ridiculous. Like, I need y'all to understand. You're over here in the desert because y'all don't like Muslim people, and you want to wipe them off the earth. Go read Pete Hegseth's books.
Okay. All right, let him speak on it.
First of all,
him wanting to start a crusade. Please don't interrupt me. I'm
Well,
almost done.
okay, go ahead,
If you
Andy.
interrupt me, I'm going to make it longer. He wants to go have crusades in the desert. Look at his fucking tattoos. And Tim, I paid you $30.
No, I get it, but he's going to forget some of what you're talking about if you go on too long.
yeah, and you say that, you literally say that, okay, he thought that. No, he didn't thought. They did try. And that is it.
When they don't know anything, Tim. That's the fucking problem.
I don't know anything, but yeah, you're talking about Islamophobia. Do you saw what happened in Texas? That is exactly why that religion should not exist.
Sir, do you realize that people...
That is why it should not exist. And that is
hell no.
That is why our border should be closed.
Wait, hold on. Wait, you're going to tell me what happened in Texas and why that religion... You realize how much the Catholic Church should take Christianity out of here then, huh? What all the kids they got to be? You want to get rid of Christianity?
Sure, we can talk about the Crusades 100 years ago, or we can talk
That
about
100 years ago.
Okay,
You think that
You don't got any real pushback.
First of all, I don't
see. Babble this bullshit. You don't even get to the
see Christians. I don't see Christians flying planes into buildings. I don't see Christians.
No, they're flying dicks in the. Wait, hold on. They're not flying planes in the building. Wait, hold on. They're not flying planes in the building. They're flying dicks in the children. What are you talking about? And that's recent. That ain't 100 years ago. That shit just happened. So if you're going to get rid of a religion,
right now.
Okay, so and that is true, and that is constantly, and they deserve every sort of criticism.
No, you said get rid of the religion. You said get rid of the religion.
Here's the difference. You have one religion, like you say, that's flying into children, and you have one religion that's flying into children and planes into buildings. So which one is worse?
That's what
Christians don't get radicalized too. Christians get radicalized.
Do you know that it's illegal
right now?
To get married as a child in Iran?
Yeah, which one is worse?
Sir.
Which one is worse?
Here's the reality. They fly them into planes, but when we get Islamophobia over here, we go annihilate nations.
When you assault children, hold on. When the Catholic Church assault children, they get prosecuted and they get held accountable for it. When you fly planes into buildings, you unalive thousands of.
Okay, let me just say this: if you got to judge between being a pedo and being a murderer, both people should have their religions gotten rid of. Ain't no which one is worse. They're both terrible. I mean, you're making it sound like, well, because the kids didn't die, somehow that's less worse. That's terrible. Andy, go ahead. Let me hear you.
I can't even believe he's saying all this. First of all, if he is a Christian, where's your humanity? And what happened to the rules in your Bible? And when America gets Islamophobia, we go wipe out entire nation, not just the two buildings, because they don't have the ability to wipe out us as a nation. They only have the ability.
Yeah, because we stopped them. That's why they don't have the ability to do it.
I'm not listening to you, child. Shut up.
And by the way, Hillary Clinton agreed with
okay, Gixer, right?
Would have done the same thing.
All right, Gixer, I'll go ahead.
Tim,
I'll give Gixer.
Get the time I paid for.
Okay, Gixer, I'll give you 30 seconds because Gixer's had his time. 30 seconds, Gixer. Go ahead and give me the last word. Wrap it up, and then I'll have her give a rebuttal. Go, Gixer.
Right. So again, the reason why they're not allowed to do it is because we stopped them from doing it. Hillary Clinton said the same thing. If I get elected, I will attack Iran. Do you want, and this is they keep talking, oh, it's not an imminent threat. So you dumbasses want to wait for it to become an imminent threat. That makes a lot of sense. And by the way, they're not going to go attack.
They were actually abiding by the rules and allowing.
They're not going to go attack.
They're not going to go by the rules and doing what they were supposed to do.
You liberals fail to understand. You liberals fail to understand that they're not going to attack the middle of Tennessee. They're going to attack New York. They're going to attack California. Those are not particularly Republican states. So you're really advocating for your own demise, which is stupidity.
All right, Gixer. Appreciate it. Gixer, come back anytime. I appreciate it. Andy, go ahead and wrap it up. Go ahead, Andy. And I will tell you this real quick. When he said they only going to attack liberal places. Now, you know something? I think they may start getting wind that some of the lesser secured places are Middle Tennessee and things like that. You find a high school football game or something like that, that's a lot less secure than the Statue of Liberty. So I don't know if you're right on that. They may get wind.
It's wrong. Because if you go look up where the silos are, they're in red states, and that's where they attack. They attack where our missiles come up out of the ground. If they were smart, that's how they do it. And those are very red areas. And once you damage the outside, they don't open so well. So I don't think Republicans are very smart. Not to mention, Iran was doing everything we asked them to do. That bullshit that young man came up here and said, that's just fear. And that's Donald Trump's.
They don't believe that, though, Andy.
Stop.
They don't believe
care.
That.
I was getting to that. That is Fox News. That is brainwashing from their fucking church and from their politicians. And their church definitely wants to fear Islam. That's why we got Tommy Tuberville in Alabama trying to get rid of an Islamic school that's been here forever and is not a threat to anyone. They are showing their Islamophobia in the States, not just here. So when they tell us that, we don't believe them because we already see them trying to get rid of brown and black people in our community. And not just Islam people, the people that the frozen water people are coming after. This is a massive attack on black and brown people. And for him to sit there and say otherwise, it's just fucking foolish. Because you ain't been paying attention in America if you don't see that shit going on.
Well, he sounded like he was African American, so Black MAGA still exists. They are real. I mean, he sounded as if he was an African American.
Yeah, too. Because it's the communities that he belongs to, people he cares about, that Trump will come for first. You think he cares about my pale ass? He don't.
Well, listen, a lot of Black MAGA think what Trump is doing is the right thing for America, so they're still on board. And listen, and I will say this. It's not like the Democrats under Obama and Biden and all of them were not saying that Iran was a rogue regime that needed to be dealt with. So when Trump attacks Iran, even Chuck Schumer and some of them folks are coming out and saying, yeah, they should not have been allowed to get a nuclear weapon. So, I mean, is it all bad?
You know, Donald Trump said he boom-boomed them because their people were protesting in the streets. Has he looked at American streets lately? I'm just asking.
That's a good question.
Because by that same logic, somebody could look at him and go, you know, Americans think he's terrible. They're protesting in the streets. He's giving them the excuse they need to take him out. Isn't that wild?
That is very wild. And hopefully something like that does not happen. But that's what I was trying to tell the caller as well. And me too in the comments, I saw you said Jeremy doesn't know American history. He is an immigrant. That is true. That is true. But look, I mean, at the end of the...
He's an immigrant. He is a true immigrant. He should have taken the damn the nationalization test. And if he'd taken the naturalization test to become a citizen, he wouldn't believe all that bullshit. Because that test is very hard to take. I've watched MAGAs come up on panels we've been holding it. They all fail.
Wow.
They don't even know the damn how many amendments are in the Constitution, much less how many articles or anything else to do with this country. They are failing.
Do you have to take that, though? Do you have to take that test to get a green card? I mean, being a citizen is one thing, but to get a green card, you do have to take it to get a green card, too?
Yeah, my green card friends said they took it. And, like, I've been, like, I was one of the few on my panel to pass it. I was very proud. Like, everybody, like, I got all the questions right. But most of MAGA, no, they ain't doing their homework. They don't know what's going on in this country. When Pete Hegseth says dumb things, like we shouldn't have to follow the chain of command and do things right, basically what he's saying is somebody's telling me I'm a fuck up, but I don't like it. That's what I'm hearing. Because we all know that the chain of command is there for a reason. And Pete is a 04. Like, who wants to listen to him anyway? I'm sure his troops talk trash about him every day.
I can imagine that generals that have spent 30, 40 years in the military probably, because listen, even in a regular job, if you have a union worker that's been there for 25, 30 years and some cat right out of college comes there and he starts giving them orders, they have a hard time accepting it. And somebody who's devoted their whole life to the military, and this guy, as you said, in 04 is coming up there barking out orders, I gotta assume it probably is difficult to take.
He's drunk all the time. How military ready can he be? Especially after he swore to us, if I get this nomination, I ain't going to drink anymore. But standing at the podium, knocking them back. Like, get real. The man's not even sober enough to have the fucking job.
Well, I can't go with that one. But Stevie D says, so glad, and I'll let you handle this before we move it on. But Stevie D says, so glad Trump won. I was falling away from MAGA, but I'm headed back to it. So he's suggesting that you're re-energizing his love for MAGA.
I don't care. I don't care. See, this is my problem with people that don't know shit in America. Like, when they hear us talk about the Constitution, all that, they don't realize it's their rights they're giving up. Because once the Constitution's gone, it's gone for everybody. Yeah. Not just the people that they hate. Everybody. So while y'all are out here cheering for this shit, just know that eventually he'll get around to you. Because he gets around to all of his allies eventually. Look at Steve Bannon. Him and Steve Bannon ain't getting along. Look at him and Elon. Him and Elon ain't getting along. Trump don't have allies but for a minute.
He does. He does. Yeah, his relationships, I mean, Marjorie Taylor Greene, his relationships do break up pretty quick. But Andy, I got to move it on as always.
And then when he goes after him, look how hard he goes after him. So y'all, I hope like hell y'all piss him off. It'll be your turn next. And Tim, don't make me have to spend $30 fucking dollars up here to defend a fucking woman and to make you push back on MAGA. If you push back on them a quarter as hard as you push back on me, then you might have a conversation.
Push back on MAGA. I do.
No. You fluff them so fucking hard Take that out. Like I'm with her. That's bullshit. You up here treating them like they are.
Oh my.
Like I know they're hard to get up here because they're so goddamn fragile. But quit treating them so much better than us, or you're not gonna have a reputation with us either.
Oh my God, you're scaring me, Andy. I gotta go. Thank you for your support. Looking in the comments, most jerks don't have lasting friendships, says Billy White. Well, yeah, Trump's friendships come and go real quick. I mean, how many friendships has he lost since we've been on the political stage, starting with Michael Cohen? He loses friendships a lot. I see in the comments, Roy Jack says, win Andy. We love Andy. Look, that's what free speech is about. What do we say when we make it clear on every program? We don't block, ban, or censor. Our comments go left of Mom Donnie till I'm having dinner with Q. And what do I make the solemn promise of? You can be critical of anyone on this program, including yours truly. Say it every broadcast. So yes, people do criticize me as well. That's what free speech is about. We don't limit or censor your time because you got a difference of opinion or you're critical of me or anybody else. That's how a free speech program works. You may not be familiar with seeing that many places on the internet, but we absolutely do that here. By the way, if you're currently watching on YouTube, I'm going to ask you to tap that like button. Certainly on TikTok, get the likes on up to about 65. I appreciate you guys. You are amazing, says Andy. Thank you. Assuming I get a little bit of that. They are cheating in Texas. Tonight is the night. Jasmine Crockett and what is the guy's name? Who do you think's going to pull that one out? That's the race everybody's looking at in Texas. Crockett and, for some reason, I cannot think of the other guy's name that I've been having shows on. But Crockett and whatever the guy's name is, who do you think's going to pull that out for the primary in Texas for Senate? For Senate, Tallarico. Yes, Tallarico. Do you think Tallarico's going to pull it out or Jasmine Crockett? I personally got hammered because I said the Democrats probably need to consider, and I certainly favor, and I like Crockett. Ideally, I like Crockett, but I'm saying for the sake of the environment we're in, I think the Democrats' best chance lies with electing straight white Christian males. I got hammered by the left for saying that shit. I got hammered by it. I see Louise Miguel, you said you just voted for her. Good luck. But I did say that. I said the same thing when Tim Walz was running. You need a straight white Christian male. All the transgender stuff and things like that, it's bringing out the worst in people. I'm not saying that I'm not an ally of the transgender community. I'm an ally of the LGBTQ community, but when you start promoting that stuff, it's bringing out the worst in people and it's swaying elections. So it's almost one of those deals where you tell them, look, we got you, but right now we got to get in office. We can't really do this out loud. One of those things. But anyway, looking in the comments, I think this says pepperoni pizza. Save Korea from fraud election. Korea? Save Korea from a pro-China government. And I'm not going to be to pronounce the last name of this. You says Lee somebody is a fake president. Say no to communism. So you're saying that in South Korea, the Chinese are trying to interfere with their election? I can believe that because they try to interfere with ours. And we have a history of trying to interfere with other foreign governments' elections as well. After seeing what's going on in North Korea, are there South Koreans that would even want communism? Anyway, Don't Ask, Don't Tell was for a reason. Yeah, because the hate is real when it comes to the LGBTQ community. The hate is real. The left wants the LGBTQ community to feel and be treated like regular, average, everyday human beings. I'm okay with that. But there's a hell of a lot of Americans that are not. And the moment the left tried to make them be viewed and treated as everyday, average, normal human beings, the haters came out and they came out in force. And it really hurt the Democrat Party. It's really hurt the Democrat Party. Appreciate that. Join KG, joining the fan club. Thank you. Man, you lefties are slow, says True National Uncensored. Slow in what manner, Truth? Let us know. The people in Iran are happy, but the left is mad. Explain that. Propaganda. If somebody came to this country and took President Trump out, it would be no difficulty at all to find, street corners full of Americans celebrating. Does that mean the whole country is happy? No. You just find a group of people that are cheering for what you want everybody to believe. Same thing when Trump was talking about taking over Greenland. You had folks on the right finding individuals in Greenland indicating that, see, they want us to do this. You just find a few people, because there's going to be a few dissenters in every country. I mean, there are people in America that would celebrate letting Russia take us over. You find a few of them and then you put them on TV and say, see, America wants to be part of Russia. So no, I don't believe the Iranians as a whole are happy. I don't believe that. I don't think the Iranians want a pro-American leader put in place of the guy they had. Now, they may not like the guy they had, and they may be celebrating him being taken out, but that don't mean they want look, that would be like if Putin took out President Trump. You're going to find some liberals that would celebrate, but they don't want a pro-Russian guy in there. So it can be both. They don't want all of a sudden some dude from Russia to be in charge. So it can be a combination of both. Anyway, let me go back to the box and we'll go to handsome conservative. There are many good Iranians, just not radical mullahs. Well, but in this country, the propaganda is to tell you that everybody's radical. I mean, like, you don't hear Trump talking about the left without saying they're radical. To President Trump, every Democrat in the country is a radical. And there are people who believe that every Muslim in the Middle East is a radical. Handsome conservative, good evening.
In what world, man, did you think taking gangster grandma and putting her in a debate was a good idea? You even had to bring up another Democrat so she could stand a chance.
Oh,
I mean, seriously.
That ain't how that works. No,
that was 2-on-1. That wasn't even a debate.
Well, the way, hold on. You see what shows behind me. If I'm talking to someone and someone puts a guest, now this is something I was hesitant to do in terms of bringing up multiple guests, but I asked a poll on here and folks said yes. If somebody's on here and they're talking shit and somebody else wants to set them straight, you should allow that person to come up. So because I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it.
Can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
Can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
This is your program, and I respect that. But maybe we just stick to one-on-one, like a Republican and a Democrat, because that was just sad.
Well,
I didn't know which way I was coming or going. I was scared. I was like,
well, what we're going to end up doing is just simply giving one guest an allotted few seconds, the next, and then mute the other guest until that guest is done. Then let that person rebut and back him. Kind of like what Trump ass did during the debate when he wouldn't shut the fuck up. They had to mute the mics because Trump wouldn't stop over talking Biden. So we may have to end up doing something like that.
I'm gonna give you that. But in Trump's defense, that was funny as hell when him and Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, but it wasn't. But the liberals were watching that debate just like you were watching the last one. We didn't find it funny. We wanted to hear the other side. Oh my God.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, you got company now.
Let me say one thing.
Real quick, because you got company. Real quick, because somebody wants to talk to you.
Go ahead and bring them up. Go ahead. That's cool.
Where is are they in here? There we go. But okay, Andy, welcome back.
People. See, because I paid to come up here and I have deep motherfucking pockets. So each one of you that wants to talk shit about gangster grandmother, just know I will be paying to come up and silence each and every fucking one of you.
Handsome?
Oh, I'm sorry. Was she done talking?
She's not doing that. Yeah, she's done. Go ahead.
Okay, well, let's start by this. Your pockets ain't near as deep as mine. Okay, I'm just gonna put that.
My pockets are pretty fucking shallow.
There's no way for you to come up here again, and you're already up here. So that's the dumbest comment I've ever heard. Are you gonna start adding yourself to the panel with me with every Republican? Is that what you're saying? You're gonna go pocket to pocket with me on these Republicans? Because I'm good with that. Tim will love that, and then we're gonna take all that money and spend it on Democrats, like donate it to Doug Jones.
I'm just, look, either way, it doesn't matter what the woman says. I'm just going to put it out like this. This is why, and I could be wrong. I'll admit it up front, but I believe that this is why the Republicans are going to stay in charge of the House and the Senate. Because you bitches are crazy. You're just crazy.
It's funny, sir.
What?
You're calling me a fucking bitch because now I'm going to school you on something. Democrats have won every election since Donald Trump won office. We have lost we won all those special elections. And if you hadn't noticed, you're down to one seat of control in the House. One seat. And if y'all manage to piss off another member and they quit on their own, then Democrats will have control of the House without having to win another election. That's how uneducated you are. Then you're going to sit here and say that shit? Miss me with your shit.
Darling, all we need is one seat. Okay. That's all we need. So go ahead and say what you got to say.
Hey, ladies,
but you're not going to have it after November, sir. There's a big blue wave coming. Okay. It's a tsunami.
Yes. I've heard this so many times.
Let me say this. Let me interrupt and say this. And by the way, you guys have another guest coming in the name of PJ. But I want to say this. You're talking about the Democrats' actions is why the Republicans are going to keep winning. I don't think you're factoring in how Trump's actions are hurting your party. I mean, you can talk about the Democrats, but what he is doing is also creating a lot of dissension in the ranks. As she pointed out, people are quitting Congress.
I am the first person to call it out when Trump does something stupid, and you know that. Okay, I will stand up and admit when Trump does something stupid, but what I am saying is I have heard about this big blue wave. The truth of the matter is the Democrats aren't the only ones coming out and voting. So we'll see what happens, but I do believe the Republicans are going to hold power.
They're not winning. They've lost every special election. You lost Miami. You lost the city of Miami, which freaked Fox News the hell out because Fox News was counting on those Latino votes for their demographic to be right. And when y'all lost Miami, it just showed Fox News even y'all can't carry Texas.
Why would you know something, Andy? I got to say, and I agree with you, Andy, but I got to say, why the hell would Fox or the right think that they're still carrying Latinos at this point?
I don't know. I thought it was crazy for them to think so in the first place. But they seemed thoroughly stunned. So I was like, okay, y'all just be that way.
Yeah, you would agree with that, handsome conservative, right? You would agree that the Latino vote has probably significantly declined. You would agree with that, right?
Honestly, no, I wouldn't.
Really?
I wouldn't, and there's a reason for that.
I'd like to know what that is.
Latinos, don't take it the wrong way. I'm not racist, man. But honestly,
you preface it when you say something like that as an opener.
Like your last guest said, the party has gone so far to the left that all they're left with is insults and put downs. That's it.
Sir, I didn't insult
that's
you
why they lost the last time.
I gave you facts. No, sir. I gave you facts. Facts about what Fox News. And then we got to introduce PJ. They paid good money too. And there was somebody named Miriam that paid you money. Like,
handsome conservative, I'm curious about you talking.
I aren't really happy you called me a bitch either. Just saying.
What's?
And I'm not the one. I'm not a bitch. I'm the bitch. Let's get it clear.
Oh shit! Now what I'm shocked on, handsome.
Tell you what, we're really impressed with that. But go ahead.
What you're shocking me on is you're talking about insults and stuff like that from the left. Have you paid attention to your actual president?
Yes, I've paid attention to the president. And I'm not saying the president does everything right. No president does, Republican or Democrat. You know I've always been fair about that. I'm not saying every president does everything right. Every president makes mistakes, no matter what.
Yeah, but you actually cited the Democrats for insults. He's like the king of that. If you see the insults hurting the Democrat Party, then you would think he's toast.
Look. The truth is, maybe I shouldn't, okay? I just found it funny the way he did it. And so did half the other country. Okay, so did half of the
No,
other
they
country.
didn't. Currently, Donald
they
Trump
did,
has an
'cause they
approval
voted him
rating
in.
of 30-something%, which is the lowest in human history for any president. Like, nobody likes what Donald's doing, not even your own party. Republicans in Alabama are bitching about what y'all are doing. Like, they are making everything unstable. You're making gas prices go up. Did y'all notice that the war made gas prices go up 30 cents overnight?
Yeah, we talked
Dude,
about it.
you're talking about the trailer
Can
park.
I respond
spent
to what she
45
just
bucks to
said?
get up
Yeah,
here.
give her.
Go away.
Okay, what is your response to that, conservative?
All right, I'm not going to even go into the gas situation.
But you will agree with her.
yesterday.
Wait, you will agree with her that gas prices have went up, right?
30 cents
Oh,
overnight.
yeah, but where I live, gas prices go up because the wind blows. It does. I mean,
No.
honestly,
The Strait of Hormuz is closed off. You do realize when the Strait of Hormuz is closed off, no oil flows out. Like, you are aware of this, right? Like, we will be tapping into our reserves soon. Y'all all sit up here and bloviate bullshit and don't know shit. That is my biggest problem with Republicans.
Conservative?
Okay, well, I'm sorry that you got a problem with Republicans, but as you can clearly see on my name, that says conservative, and a conservative, hun, is a lot different than a Republican. Having said that, okay,
Then why do you vote with them?
I vote. Tim, you want to take this? You want to take this? You want to tell her why I vote? She won't let me talk. You want to tell her?
If you were truly conservative, you would be fiscally and financially,
Well, he didn't vote for. He actually he didn't vote for. He only voted for Trump once. He didn't vote for Trump the last 2 times, Andy.
And why didn't I vote for Trump the last 2 times?
For some of the things she's complaining about.
Because he ran on what? Because he ran on division.
Yeah.
What I voted for the first time was what he ran on the first time. I didn't vote for somebody for division.
Because it's not the Democrats who are hiding the Epstein files. Matter of fact, they all voted to release them. It's not the Democrats who wanted to go bomb a nation that's not threatening us and make oil prices shoot up 30 cents. It's not the Democrats who want to kick out the immigrants who are literally holding this country together in our GDP because we have more jobs than we can fill because Donald Trump didn't take care of us during the pandemic. What is it that is the problem with Democrats?
Two things. First of all, let's cover the immigrants. I have 0 issues with somebody being here that is an immigrant as long as they come through the legal way. That's it.
So you don't agree with Trump. You don't agree with Trump ending TPS, with what he's done to the Cubans, the Haitians, because he got rid of a lot of legal people. You don't agree with him banning third world countries and all?
No, I don't agree. If you came in the legal way, as far as I'm concerned, you are an American citizen, and I will say that till my breath goes dead. Okay, that's my opinion, and that's why I'm a conservative and not a Republican.
Okay.
And Tim, I don't want to cause a fight with your other guests, but you know why I can never vote Democrat. You know, we've been down this aisle.
Yeah,
we've
you're pro-life. You are a staunch Christian. You are a Christian that has staunch pro-life views.
I cannot vote for any party that is okay with killing children. I'm sorry.
There's a recipe for it in the Bible. God, literally gave us the recipe for a baby. You do know that, right? It's in there. Not only that, God unalived all the first sons. He is the most proficient A-B'er on the planet. I don't see why.
Wow, that is
women's health care. Because reality check, if some women didn't get ABs, they couldn't go on to have 6 or 7 kids later. Because sometimes women's bodies just don't work the way y'all think. And y'all are out here making rules and not considering the fact that in the AB laws, y'all didn't consider what happens if the fetus unalives in the mother. Now that woman's just got to carry that unalived fetus around because the laws don't take that into account. Y'all didn't put those laws in thoughtfully. You didn't put those laws in, concerning how women's health is. Y'all just said blanket, it's all bad. So therefore women now will be the ones to unalive for those children. See, to me, that's a bullshit argument too. You're just trading one life for another.
Handsome conservative. Let me ask you, conservative.
May I please?
Before you do. Okay, wait. Before you answer that, we'll let you answer. Conservative, we'll let you answer it. Before you do, a few viewers want to know: do you support capital punishment?
No. You mean killing somebody?
Yeah,
no,
the death penalty.
I'm against murder.
Okay.
I'm against murder. I'm 100% against killing anybody. Life in prison, fine. Put them in a home and help somebody get clean, fine.
What about
But
what
I'm against killing.
Renee Good?
Okay, may I answer what she said?
Go ahead. Go ahead,
I'm going to
conservative.
respond until I answer that last thing. Okay, first of all, whatever problem you got with what God did, you take that up with God. Second of all, as far as abortion goes, I am so sick of hearing it be disguised as women's health care. It's murder. If you're going to support it, if you're going to say, I'm going to say otherwise, and I'm going to keep talking until you want to stop interrupting me, and we can do this over and over again, because, honey, I've been married and I can talk longer than you can, so let's just do this right. All right, how long you've been married?
All right, well.
He's going to end up having to mute the mic.
Okay, all right. All right, let me, okay, hang on, hold on. We're losing the, okay, I'm going to have to mute somebody.
You've already lost.
Okay, conservative, hang on. Hold on, conservative, because it's over to 10.
Yes.
Hold on, conservative, hang on. We'll go ahead and give Andy, you go ahead and get the last word and wrap it up, because it is over to 10. And then I'll go ahead and continue on with conservative.
I am
Andy?
sick of men who are absolutely okay with women unaliving for their children to bear their last name. See, they don't give two fucks about the women, and this is my problem. You can say, I got a wife, I don't want it because it's health care. But without that health care, y'all need to go look up the maternal mortality rate for women in the South, where they have made all these things illegal, and go look at how many women who have children are passing away because of your fucking rules. Y'all make me fucking sick.
Andy, thank you. All right, moving on. Now, conservative, how do you respond to that? Because she is right. We hear about liberal cities and all that shit, but she's right. That's one of the statistics that's terrible in some of those Bible Belt states. What say you?
I'm just going to fucking throw it out there.
Come on, conservative.
Second of all, listen, man, honestly, I know we're not going to see eye to eye on this. I get that.
You and I have had a long conversation on it. You and I have had a long conversation on it.
My opinion stands the same. Women are the only ones in this country, and I'm only speaking of this country, that can commit murder and call it health care.
She's not lying about having deep pockets, I swear. She wants to
it won't make a difference. It won't make a difference.
But I will say, you have been consistent, and I like the fact that you do not agree with capital punishment. I don't see her in here. I do agree. I do like the fact that, even because I'm pro-choice, but if you're going to be pro-life, at least you're not one of those who are pro-life, but also pro-death penalty. I like the fact that you're consistent from that standpoint. So, and Andy, I don't see you in there. I looked for you. So, I can't hate on that. But before we wrap it up, they're conservative. And
I think there's somebody else up here that wanted to talk to me.
I don't know. He put it on mute. I got him up there. I didn't mute him. I don't know why his microphone got muted.
Hey, Tim, I just did it out of respect. I'm a big fan of yours, Tim. I didn't even really want to come up. I didn't know the galaxy was to come up, Tim. I should have known. I just wanted to support you and Gigi. You guys are awesome. I love what you guys are doing. I want to get out of this timeline. It doesn't seem real. I feel like, is this real? Is this real life? Like,
we're not the first country. We're not the first country to deal with this. We just are not familiar with it. But it's happened to others, and they are telling us, we see where you're headed because we've been there.
It's absolutely nuts. And history repeats itself. Wasn't that the purpose of us learning history? So it will not repeat itself? But yet, here we are.
Yeah. All right. Well,
absolutely crazy.
I do appreciate the support, man. You can come through anytime. Certainly appreciate that.
Appreciate you, Tim.
Anytime. All right, moving on. And Hands Conservative, I'll give you the last word. I'll go ahead and wrap it up and move on. But
last word, man. Honestly, like I said, if you asked or she asked me why I vote Republican, because that's the only choice I'm left with. I vote Republican because I can't be on a party that votes for murder. That's it. And she can call it what she wants. and she can call it health care, which is just absurd to me, but it is what it is. And support your local liberal and put a lot of hate in that comment. Make me feel good.
All right, conservative, I appreciate that. I don't know what happened. Was Andy, because I tried to find her. She wanted to talk to him again. I got to honor the galaxy. It is what it is.
You're going to let him call me a bitch after I fucking leave? You got to be kidding me.
What do you want me to do? Argue with the guests?
I need you to start telling these men not to be so goddamn misogynistic and actually show some respect. Like, look, I can fucking stay here all day if they want me to. They have no idea what they've done and pissed me. And see, you have no idea in putting up this new format.
I didn't know. I gotta admit, I'm being honest. I didn't know.
How broke we are? We're not broke.
But there's not many of you. So I know, for folks who you are one of a kind.
You only need one. You got me. So they're toast. Just so you know.
Okay. Well, listen. Some guests.
So you owe me whatever 10 minutes from that last fiasco. Drop me.
All right. Okay. I'm getting ran in the ground. Here, let me look in the comments. You never realize it, Tim. Seriously. What are you saying there, Me Too? What are you saying? Why can't the privileged people just correct history and consecrate and show love and humanity? Because it's not in their best interest. They're under the holy order. The privilege. Look. When you're privileged and you head down a path of equality, it feels like oppression. I mean, if you're on top and the world is your oyster, and all of a sudden now you're in the pool with everybody else where you're just equal, it feels like oppression. So that's why they're not going to do that. They're never going to. And PJ, appreciate the hat and mustache. Thank you very much. So what the caller is saying is the world would benefit from abolishing the two-party system. I think America would. The only way you're going to ever do that, and I see Pepperoni Pizza, you said South Korea is dominated by Chinese spies. I believe that. I believe Iran is dominated by a hell of a lot of Mossad. There's only one way they would know where all of them folks were to kill them. I believe Israel is all over the Middle East in those countries, and they're painting where people are just in case they need to blow the building up they're in. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Privileged people don't want to share their privilege. I think that's pretty apparent. Hell, even at the lower levels, they don't have to be some Elon Musk rich fuck. I mean, how many working class Americans that are middle class don't want their tax money going to anything for the poor? You don't have to be very privileged to be stingy. You can just be a little bit. You can just be a little bit privileged and still say fuck the people under you. I mean, how many folks that are just, entry level middle class or middle class that are against universal health care or any program that would help the poor? And I'm talking about at least in America. I've been in other countries, but in America, I can tell you for a fact, we are not a kind soul. I mean, we don't like to share. It is as simple as that. Looking in the comments here real quick. What does say here? My three favorite people are Zeus, Handsome, and Takesha. I appreciate that, Gregory. I've spent EBT on homeless people. I share because God commands it. Well, there's not enough of you. I'll just say it like that. Let's make it happen with Straight Talk Commerce. Good evening, Straight Talk.
How you doing? First, let me clean up again. Let me be the janitor. Strait of Hormuz is not closed. There are people going through there right now. You can, if you doubt me, you can pull it up on your computer. There are cameras all over the Strait of Hormuz. You can see the ships going through. I don't know what y'all are talking about, and neither do you.
Is it safe, though? Because Iran is threatening.
It's never safe. It is near Iran. It is never safe. So please just, stop. You're toddlers. Number two, Spain. Spain has signed an agreement in the NATO agreement, Article 2. If you'd like me to read it, I'll read it for you. Article 2 says that President Trump has full access of his bases in Spain.
Why would Spain just give America full access? What did they get out of it?
Because they're part of NATO. Every NATO country signs an agreement with the United States when we build bases there that we can use those bases as we see fit.
So it
would make no sense to make an agreement and then let you decide what I can use that base for.
So in
So
other words,
stop again.
wait. So in other words, America can launch attacks that nobody agree with, and you just have to let them use your country to do it.
Yeah, because we are protecting your Spanish ass. That's why.
They don't
We are-
know.
If you expect us, Tim, let me read it for you. Let me read it. Okay? Let me read this to you. Both parties affirm that the maintenance of their respective security and full territorial integrity and the continuation of a strong defense relationship between them serve their common interest, contribute to the defense of the West, and assist in the maintenance and development of their individual and collective capacity to resist armed attack. To this end, Spain grants to the United States, and this is the good part, the use of operational and support installations and grants authorizations for use of Spanish territory, territorial sea, and airspace for purposes within the bilateral or multilateral scope of this agreement, which means we don't get to decide what you use this base for on our whim.
And that's the part I don't believe. Eagle 45 even says offensive attack is not part of that deal. This is about.
It is listed here. So Eagle 45 can kiss my starfish and pull it up and read it himself.
This is the first time hearing of it, but I don't.
I know, because you're not that smart. You need to, before you say stuff, you should research it a minute.
I don't need
just say, hey, what? And by the way,
do you need to research? Do you need to research bullshit? Straight talk. I don't believe what you're saying is accurate.
Hey, it's. I mean, goddamn, it's on the USembassy.gov. It's a GOV. Didn't you tell me that the GOV that was the truth? Didn't you just tell me that?
The problem
Do you think I just made that up?
No, I don't think you're making it up. I think you're misinterpreting it. I think the problem is where you and I disagree is you believe that the United States can use their base to attack people even if it's unnecessary because of this agreement. If you let's say America just develops a hatred towards Greenland, for instance, they can just fly in and out of Spain and bomb Greenland.
A very good point. You make a very good point. But guess what? Why would I go to the expense of spending billions of dollars to allow you to decide what I can use that base for? We're either partners or we're not partners.
That.
We're either allies or we are not allies.
No, fuck that. Look, let me tell you something. I got close friends. You think I'm gonna let them use my? Hold on. I don't give a shit about what I'm saying. Is this? I don't. If me and you are friends, or I make some kind of agreement that you can borrow my car to go to work or whatever, and you decide you want to use my shit for a bank robbery, I don't give a damn about an agreement. I'm not gonna let you use my base.
That's actually a pretty good analogy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let you use my base.
If it's in the framework, hold on. If it's in the framework of what our agreement is, in other words, you don't want me stopping at the liquor store after work. We need to either stop signing agreements between the two of us. How about this? If you and I are friends, and I say, "Hey, Andy kicked me out. I can't go home tonight." Okay, and I either need to borrow 100 so I can get a hotel room, or let me stay with you, sleep on the couch. And you look me dead in the face and say, can't let you do either. Then we are not friends. We are not allies.
I'm fine with that, but I'll counter you and do you one better. If you say, look, my car broke down, can I borrow yours to get to work? And as a friend, I lend you my car, and you decide to do a drive-by while you in my shit. So the sheriff said, we are not friends. You're not using my runway. You are not using my runway to launch offensive attacks so that the people are pissed off at me because of what you did.
But if you and I agree that I can do drive-bys and bank robberies and anything that I need. If you say to me, hey, straight, you can use this car in any way you see fit. We got this agreement. You're paying for the majority of the car payment, which we are for Spain. They don't even pay their 2%. We pay everything for Spain and defend them. They refuse to even pay their 2%. The hell, we're not using those airfields.
Bro, I would have to see somebody interpret this agreement to suggest that the United States could use their airfield. They can use their airfield to do any damn thing they want, even offensive attacks that might bring heat back to Spain. I mean,
No shit.
Yeah, so
that's part of being in NATO.
No, this ain't NATO. This is not a NATO organized event. This is the United States and Israel doing this shit. NATO ain't got nothing to do with it.
What are you talking about?
NATO is not
involved. They are attacking places in Europe. That's what they're trying to defend.
NATO is
16 countries since this has started. 16 countries are now piling on Iran.
Yeah, listen, Iran is Iran in effort to get at countries that let America launch the attack. Yeah, it's spreading. But before America decided to hit Iran, there was not a single NATO member nation like, yeah, let's get the motherfucker. Nobody wanted to get everybody thought this was wrong.
Hey, the German chancellor sat right next to Trump today and said, if you need to use our bases, they're open.
Yeah, but he was not interested
He was
not interested.
Absolutely use Germany.
Yeah, but he's saying that now after it happened. You didn't hear Germany saying, let's go in there and take out Iran.
Today.
Yeah, after it's happened already. The chancellor of Germany.
Your point.
He was not on board. Wait, hold on. The chancellor of Germany was not on board with assassinating the entire head of the Iranian government. He was not on board with that.
Well, he was sitting right next to the president today.
It's over with already, though.
Twice, not once, but twice.
Yeah, maybe he don't want to be assassinated either. I mean, checking to make sure he's not standing on plastic.
probably smart move.
Yeah,
probably the closer you sit to Trump, probably the closer you sit to Trump, the safer you are. Huh?
Yeah, he's just talking good to make sure he ain't standing on plastic. We don't elected a killer.
That sounds like the chancellor of Germany is a lot smarter than you.
No, it sounds like we elected. No, it sounds like we elected a murderer.
You know, look, I have listened to you for a while.
Thank you.
You're for abortion, but you're not for capital punishment.
No,
I got that right?
I'm pro-choice, and yes, I am not for capital punishment. Yes.
No. You're for. I mean, being pro-choice. That's a nice way of saying for abortion. You believe any woman, for any reason, should be able to get an abortion. Yes or no?
Pretty much, yeah. I don't think it ain't my job to tell her.
And that's a baby that she's going to kill a baby, right? You don't.
I don't believe a 3-week-old embryo is a baby. I just have a different opinion.
Would you agree that it would be a baby if you didn't fuck with it?
Yeah, but if the woman said, "Wait, hold on,"
so it's a baby.
No,
it's not going to turn into an
let me tell it to you this way. If that woman, and hang on a second, Kabira.
You're welcome.
Hold on. If that woman said, listen, she went to the doctor or went to the cops or the government or whatever and said, look, I know the law says I cannot terminate the life of my unborn child that's growing inside of me. I will not break the law, but I want you to take it out of me. I don't want to take its life, but I don't want to be responsible. Take it. You can't do that. So it's a parasite. It's not a child.
Wait. Say that again.
I'm saying if a woman was wanting to adhere to the law, and Kabir, I see you. If a woman wanted to adhere to the law, so she went and told the government, the cops, went to the doctor or whatever and said, I'm not going to break the law and have an abortion. But I don't want anything to do with this child. It's 3 weeks old.
Have you ever heard of adoption?
You didn't hear what I said. You're not listening to me. She's 3 weeks along and she said, I want you to take it out of me now. I got an acting career, or I don't want to end up with stretch marks, or I don't want to risk my life in childbirth.
The question is no. The answer to that question is no.
And that's because it's.
Right. All right, tell you what. All right, hold on.
That's because it's not a baby. It's not a baby. Okay. You can't take it out because it's not a baby.
Okay, it is a baby.
No, it ain't. Then take it out.
What is it going to be, Tim? What you give me? What else could it be? If you leave it alone, what the fuck else is it going to be?
To me,
anything other than a baby.
That's like looking at a frame of a car on the assembly line and saying it's a car. No, it ain't. It ain't a car yet. It's just a frame.
On the assembly line, it's going to be a car.
No, but
so I'm asking you. Hold on. I'm asking you. Is there a chance that 6-week-old, whatever you want to call it, is there a chance it's going to be anything other than a baby?
Yeah, there's a chance. It could be. I mean, things come out sometimes all the time that are not babies. I don't know. It could be a mutant.
What the fuck is it going to be, Tim?
It could be a mutant.
Dude, stop. You got to stop acting like a fucking toddler, man.
It's not a toddler. Now, a toddler is a baby.
Yes, a toddler.
That's a baby.
Listen,
if she was 3 weeks pregnant and she had a toddler inside of her, then I would agree with you.
No, listen. All right, so let me ask you this. And the ladies in the chat can chime in too. If I gave you if I gave you execution, I gave you capital punishment. If I gave you capital punishment, would you stop killing babies? In other words, if you will stop killing criminals, but all you got to do is stop killing babies.
I'm going to take. Wait, here the detailed answer. I'm going to tell you no for the simple fact is if you outlaw, hold on, let me. It's going to be a detailed answer. If you outlaw abortion, it's just like what you guys say about the Second Amendment. If you outlaw it, you're just going to make it a black market. A woman that don't want to carry a child for 9 months has a whole lot of options beyond what you think she has. So trying to force her to do it. This is what you just asked me a minute ago. What else is it going to come out to be? And I said a mutant. What do you think happens when she's shoving hangers or taking drugs to prevent this?
That's on her, dude. Listen, that is on her. Now let me go one step further. Let's say, since you won't give up killing babies, and I get it, you guys are some bloodthirsty motherfuckers. But so let me in on this. I don't want to kill babies. I want to kill criminals. So let me execute every violent criminal, and we'll set it at anyone that is murdered someone else, not just law enforcement, not just children or elderly people. I mean, if you have taken a life, we get the life. So how about that? You won't stop killing the babies. Let me go in there and start with enthusiasm. Start taking out violent criminals.
Okay, I want to say this, and then I want to give it to Kabira because he's actually earned the time. But I will just say this: I don't favor the death penalty because we know our criminal justice system not only is based on gender, race, it's also based on finances. So the point is, a wealthy person like the Epstein list, you or I couldn't do that shit and be living the same life.
You got that right.
Right. So there are people who are dead that if they lived the life of the Epstein list people, they would still be alive. So I don't think you should kill people when it's not being done fairly. Kabira, good evening.
So how are you killing them? How are you killing these babies? Do they think it's fair?
We'll talk. Wait. We're talking. Kabira, good evening.
All right, Kabira.
Good evening. Good evening.
What are we getting?
Excuse me, Tim. I'm a little raspy voice right now, but look, 3 weeks, it's a blastocyst. Do you understand that, Mr. Yeller? 3 weeks, it's a blastocyst. Do you know what a blastocyst is?
Ma'am, what is it going to be?
Hold
if you give a little more time, what's it going to be, ma'am?
A little more time. You're talking about several months.
To me, I'll act like this to you. What is it going to be, sweetie?
First of all, I'm not yelling at you.
I have a hearing problem, ma'am. I'm sorry if you think I'm yelling. I'm not.
Okay, well, hey, slow it down, please.
And I speak fast. So now that
wait, let her talk. You're not give her a minute. Go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you. Do you know what a blastocyst is? First of all,
you just told me, ma'am.
It's a clump of cells or something like that, right?
Blastocyst? You just told me.
I don't know what it is. Go ahead and explain it. What is it, man?
I don't think you're using the word correctly, but this is your time.
That's the word. In other words, it's a clump of cells.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, now this is the thing. This is my thing on it. I'm pro-choice. And it is healthcare. Reason I say that is a woman can have a miscarriage, right?
Yeah.
And
ma'am, a blastocyst is 5 to 6 days, not 3 weeks.
Sweetheart. No,
yes, ma'am. I'm looking at it right
now. Well,
here.
you don't. It doesn't. Wait. Hold on. Straight talk. You don't want it done in 5 to 6 days. So I don't know what the time frame matter. You still would feel the same way.
It's still a clump of cells.
Yeah, 5 to 6 days. Yes.
At 3 weeks, it's still a clump of cells.
Yes, ma'am. It's the future.
Okay, well, let her talk. You're droning her out. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. My bad.
Tim, I really don't want to get ignorant, but he's gonna make me. So
okay, well let's work on the piece, right? Okay, go ahead and make your point.
So what I'm saying to you is this: a woman could have a miscarriage, right? And if you need to have that done to you because you're in the process of having a miscarriage, that is also an abortion. That is also health care. See, this is where a lot of people get it confused. They think Sally Ann is just going in there and ripping out a baby. Yeah. But there could be many thousand things that go wrong with the pregnancy. The fetus could be unalived inside of her. But because the fetus is unalived inside of her, I mean, it's not alive, but she still has to carry it to term. You're asking a woman to carry a dead body inside of her. See, so it is health care. You're just focusing on a baby and having the baby taken out. Now, could a woman...
Now, straight talk, she makes a good point because there was a baby born without a skull down in Texas.
She doesn't make a good point.
Huh?
And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why she does not make a good point. So 3 million abortions a year are not for the health of the mother. So that let's get
but what about the scenario she gave you?
I muted myself. Do me a favor and let me respond.
No. I want to ask you, what about the scenario? So that, because most scenarios are not like what she painted, do you just tell the women that are going through that to F off?
Absolutely not. Absolutely.
So what do you do for them?
No woman should have to. Listen, hold on. I happen to know a little bit about this. My first wife had an abortion. I slept next to that woman the entire time we were married. Every single night she called out to God. She was very upset. For the 3.5 years we were married, she never got a good night's sleep. It was horrific for her. My third wife had a miscarriage. What this woman is talking about. It was hard on both of us. I don't wish it on anybody. So stop. Don't act like the people are saying things and they have no experience or not talking about. You don't know who you're talking to.
Well, you're talking about your experience, but you're not taking into account those women. Go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead, Kabira.
I think I know full well what I'm talking about. For one, I'm a woman. For number two, I have a daughter. So I know what I'm talking about.
I have 3.
I'm saying, hush, please. You're a man. There's no way you'll ever be able to have a baby. Biologically impossible.
I guarantee you I wouldn't kill it if I could.
Now, if something were to happen, like I said, while she's pregnant, and the fetus becomes unalive, then an AB should be available to her. She should not carry,
I would take her myself, boo. I would take her myself. If she has an unalive child inside her, I would take her myself. That is not what I'm talking about.
What I am saying is this. You should not put conditions. Now, you may not like abortions. I may not particularly care for them. But it's just like, I don't think a man should, to keep from getting a woman pregnant, every man should get a vasectomy until he's able to have a child. I don't think I have the right to tell a man that. I don't think I have a right to tell a man, excuse me, TikTok, this is grown folk talk now. I don't think I have the right to tell every man he shouldn't jack off. Because when he jacks off, he's letting out babies.
No, ma'am. You believe that sperm and no egg can make a child? This is what I'm talking about.
Wait, hold on. Let her finish. Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. Straight talk. She's talking about jacking off. Let her finish. Go ahead.
When you choking your chicken,
Tim would like you to speak slower and lower, please.
When you're choking the chicken, you know what I mean? When you long stroking your ping pong.
God damn.
Right? And you beginning to release that, you letting out a bunch of babies. So what?
No, ma'am.
It's illegal.
No, this is why I'm saying you should not be talking on this subject, boo-boo. You should not say a word about this. Go hide somewhere.
But what about what she is saying? Fact is, you are spreading your seed when you're doing that. I mean, look, if you're
listen, Tim, there are some religions that is absolutely verboten. Okay, that means you can't do it. I certainly, and if you feel that way, then don't touch yourself. Okay, you need to stop and knock it off. But if you believe that a man sitting in a closet somewhere in a peep show or whatever is releasing babies on the floor, you are absolutely insane.
Hey, what did you say? What did you say when I said it's a pump of cells? You said, but it's a baby.
It is a baby, man. It's going to be a baby.
Check this out. Medically, the male sperm determines the sex of the child, right? Because the male carries the X and the Y chromosome.
Yes, but what does it need, boo-boo? What does it need in order to do that? What does it need? Where do you come in?
But I'm
What
gonna.
if he's getting rid of a girl or a boy?
But
when
wait
he's
a minute.
choking his chicken?
Let me just say something real quick. Straight talk. You raised the point about a clump of cells. What is it actually going to be? The stuff you're squirting on the closet floor. I mean, it would turn out to be seeds for a baby as well. She kind of.
Not without an egg. God damn, do I have to do it?
Now, wait a minute. You say it wouldn't turn out to be a baby without an egg. Well, it wouldn't turn out to be a baby without the mom's body being an incubator.
Okay.
Okay, so what's the difference?
Do you think you just scored points with that?
No.
Of course, that's how babies are made. Now everyone in the comments knows how babies are made.
I'm just telling
and if you don't fuck with it, it is going to turn into be a baby.
I'm just telling you that if you
had the released on the floor instead of into a woman, it would have turned out to be a baby.
Right. It's half.
So what I'm really saying is this, right? Like I said, I don't tell people to rush out and get an abortion. No, I don't think I have the right to tell anybody what to do with their body, because ultimately God is he's the one who will make the decision on whether we go to heaven or hell, on how we lived our life here on earth. That's my belief.
We agree.
All right.
All right.
I don't believe that I have the right to tell other people what to do, because I will be judged for what I do, and they will be judged for what they do. And I think the more people, if they leave other people's business alone, they'd be much happier instead of worrying about what everybody else is doing. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand.
I mean, that's the way I feel about it.
I understand and I agree. Kabir, I do got to move it on. You've been a 10, but I actually agree with you 100%. He, not quite, but he made it sound like he kind of agrees. Is that not right, Straight Talk?
Well, no, I don't think that abortion should happen. I don't think that it should be legal. But if we are going to make it legal, then why not be consistent? Let's go into the prisons and take all the violent criminals. I mean, look, I can't see the way you guys think. I honestly can't, because if you're going to kill someone, you should do it with someone that's already committed.
No, I answered you. No, wait, no, Straight Talk. I told you if the death penalty was fair in the way they did it, where being rich don't give you an out versus a poor man, being white or being a woman.
I agree with you there too. Tim.
Yeah,
I've been on death row. I have worked on death row for many years. I told you that.
Yeah.
I witnessed 2 executions. I don't think that it's fairly administered. I totally agree with you there.
Yeah, if everybody had the same treatment, I wouldn't be as opposed to it as I am now.
Gotcha.
So
I got you. Well, at least that's intellectually consistent.
All right, folks. I appreciate you coming through. Thank you very much, both of you.
Take it easy, Tina.
Thank you, and thank you to Straight Talk and Kabira. All right, moving on with the program. I see in the comments, Alter Ego says the galaxy ain't it. This is what people wanted. Some folks. Let me ask you, folks. I'll ask again, because listen, you guys know we got multiple guests up. It's not just me and the guests. The guests sometimes are talking amongst themselves. How many of you favor the format we're using now, where if someone hears something that they don't agree with, they can render a galaxy and come up and join that guest? Yes, if you favor that. No, if you don't. I just want to see. Andy, I didn't see you. I got you, Andy. I said somebody said murder is murder. Yes, if you agree with the new format. No, if you don't. Because what I could also consider doing certain days. Somebody just said that do it on Fridays or weekends tomorrow. Yeah, it could be done on certain days as well. Could be done on certain days. But I mean, looks like I'm still going to say there's more people that support it that favor it than don't. By far, I'm looking at even on YouTube, where most of my viewers are more. I got more MAGA on YouTube. Even on YouTube, more folks favor it than don't. So it ain't going away based on the audience. I want to give the audience what they need and what they want, and the audience seem to favor it. Looking in the comments, is there any way Straight Talk can get punched in the groin? Why do you want to punch my guest in the groin there, Spark Chaser? So going back to the box, there is no God. So says murder is murder, says the handsome conservative. I know how you feel on it, and I like your consistency on it. I just personally do not think that banning abortion is going to stop much. I think that sometimes a solution can be just as bad as the problem, because there's going to be still a significant amount of women that are going to find a way to terminate the life of that child. And that creates another problem in itself. So if a woman, we talking hangers and medicine and all kinds of shit. So some of them are going to successfully be able to have an abortion. Some of them are going to try something that's either going to make them very sick or is going to partially terminate the life of the child. That's why when he asked me, what is it going to be? I said, it could be a mutant. You could have somebody trying to take drugs or trying to do something to terminate their pregnancy and not be 100% successful. There are people who try to terminate their own lives and they're not 100% successful, leaving behind a scarred individual. So now you could end up having a child that is, as I said, I know, Sub, it sounds bad to say a mutant, but could be missing arms, legs, part of the head. I mean, it could be something of that nature. So now you got a child that is going to be on basically the taxpayers forever. Literally for the life of the child. Same thing with the mom. If she tries to terminate the life of her child and she's caught by law enforcement. Now she's possibly convicted of murder. So she is on the taxpayers' dough forever. I have to ask the obvious question. If we're for all of this shit, why not just get a mom some food stamps or something? Why be so against helping out a mom that actually does want to have a child? We don't seem to have any problem taking care of if we throw her in jail for murder. I mean, if you're really okay with spending taxpayers' money, why not give it to some, like Charlie Kirk, for instance, saying that a mom in school, or better yet, a kid in school should not get free lunch. You don't want to give the children free lunch, but you're okay with throwing a mom in prison for murder, where she gets free lunch, dinner, and breakfast. Some of this don't make sense to me. That's all I'm saying. Some of this does not make sense. For some reason, when it comes to incarceration, suddenly the taxpayers don't mind spending a fortune. But when the person is out free, trying to make a living and trying to survive, now they might be defrauding the system. When they're incarcerated, they're getting 24-hour care. I don't understand that. I just do not understand. Anyway, let me go back to the box and I tap the screen. I haven't been able to ask that because we've been running a different type of program, but tap the screen, get the likes on up to 120. America doesn't make sense on the whole. That part absolutely doesn't. To me, Lee, I agree with you. That part absolutely doesn't. Say that God is not responsible for sins is like saying oxygen doesn't come from trees. Everybody don't believe in God, too. That's another issue. Everybody doesn't believe. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Usually say you're going down the slippery slope. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Because I'll tell you this. Once you outlaw abortion, that means if a mom does something that could lead to the death of her child, she could be charged with murder. All you got to do is try to say she did it intentionally. Let's say a mom doesn't know she's pregnant, but she goes and gets on a roller coaster or something like that. And the baby's father is able to convince the courts, no, she knew she was pregnant and tried to kill our kid. She didn't want it. I mean, so now you could end up having moms that simply had a miscarriage fighting to not be convicted of murder. I mean, there's this, when you say slippery slope, this stuff could go in all kinds of directions. What if a mom is pregnant and she's hooked on drugs? So she keeps smoking crack, keeps doing meth, keeps doing heroin, and the baby dies in the process. It only died because of what she was doing. So did she get a murder charge? I mean, so now we're not just making sure that she doesn't terminate the child. Now we're controlling what she does while pregnant. If you do something that's irresponsible, you can be held accountable for that. I mean, it's a slippery slope, and it's not favorable to women whatsoever. Anyway, look at it in the comments, and thank you folks that are tapping the screen. On this earth, the reign and the ruler is evil. The old man, you guys are getting real biblical on me. What about the separation of church and state? You start talking abortion, and church and state start mending with each other. All kinds of Bible verses and shit. What happened to separation of church and state? Are we losing our way? The founding fathers would not like you guys. The boss who sent Jesus, here's another one. The boss who sent Jesus is taking notes and the clock is ticking. Separation of church and state. Can we get back to that? Can we get back to what the founding fathers, when you start talking about abortion, religion starts coming out of everywhere. Let me go back to the box. We'll bring up a woman, Takesha Bowie. Good evening to Keisha. Welcome to the program.
I ain't staying you, Tim.
What I do?
I've been trying to get on this show for 4 days.
No, you have
I
not.
be all in the comments saying, Tim, I got to go. Can I come up right quick? You act like you got the tangle line. Like you ain't seeing my comments.
I do got the tangle line. You know how many people
I'm so sick of you.
Come on now. I've been getting beat up all day. I need one woman to be kind to me. Just one.
I don't know, Tim, because when old boy called Gangsta Grandma, see you next Tuesday, he wrong for that. Then we had the good Christian who don't believe in abortion called Ander BITCH twice. I want to just get my holy oil and throw it at the screen and see if it'll calm him down. The good Christian man that don't believe in abortions.
Well,
but you believe in calling a woman a BITCH who did not call you out your name one time. Men are so disrespectful to women.
I guess you didn't hear Gangsta Grandma talking to me then, did you?
Well, she do that every day, Tim. We're used to that, and you are too. So listen, you notice that every time there's a bill about abortion, it's always a man that makes it.
Yeah. But you can't.
But Tim, I want to know why all the laws got to be for the women. If a woman abandons her child, she gets arrested. She gets put in jail for abandonment. But the time you tell a man you pregnant, he can walk off and never come back and never give you a dime for that child and never get locked up.
I disagree because I'll tell you something. If a man walks off and leaves his child with the biological mom, she can't open up a child support case. I'm not saying it. Hold on. Let me say it. I'm not saying she's guaranteed to get a damn that. What I'm saying though is a woman can walk off and leave her child at the fire department or at a police station and nobody ever pursues her for child support. She can leave her kid at a safe haven, no questions asked. So I think she has it better.
Listen to what you just said. A safe haven. These men don't know if these children are safe when they walk off.
But what I'm saying is if a woman gets pregnant and carries a baby to term and gives birth, she has options at that point to still say, I don't want to do this. The guy does not. He's going to be viewed as a deadbeat and all that. He may not pay, but they're after him for it. It's on his record. So the guy does not have those options.
Okay, Tim.
Am I wrong?
You're going to have to come to Alabama. But listen, Tim, check this out. Because I know a lot of dads walking around and take care of them. I know a lot of mamas who got in trouble for walking off from their kids. But check this out, Tim. A DNC is considered a medical abortion. I've had one. That's when
what is it called again?
A DNC.
Do not resuscitate. What is? No, that's not D. That's DNR. What is DNC?
That's when you have a miscarriage and they have to go in and remove the fetus. That's considered a medical abortion. It's a DNC. It's necessary. So agreeing with Andy and them, it is healthcare. All men think about is the fact that a woman going out there getting pregnant and saying she don't want the baby, so she go and do something to get rid of it. That is not what that is. I want men to stay out of women's health care.
And it is for this reason.
They can't tell you no part of our body on the inside, none of our reproductive system, but they can tell us about abortion.
And it is for this reason that I'm pro-choice. I agree with that. You got to go through. It ain't my place to tell you what you can and can't do. I actually do agree with that. That's why I've been pro-choice my whole life, because of what you just said. I don't believe it's my place to tell her what she can and can't do. But I will tell you this though, Andy. When you with chastising men for coming up with these laws and shit like that, there's no shortage of women that vote in favor of this stuff. It ain't like Alabama and some of these states.
That's those conservative women who scared of their husband. They know they get their eye punched out if they don't do what their men tell them.
I'm just saying women are voting against their own freedoms by doing this.
Listen, Tim, half of the Republicans that's making these bills have paid for an abortion.
I believe that. I actually believe that.
But now it's your time to criticize somebody else for something you've done.
Yeah, it's generally people that are at an age where they've already had their children and made their decisions, and they're no longer worried about a pregnancy scare anymore.
Absolutely, Tim.
Yeah. But
you settle and your seed don't work and your sperm don't leak. And now you want to sit up here and tell somebody else about their business.
What did you say? Your seed don't work and your sperm
don't leak. Yeah.
Well,
it's powder.
Oh my God.
Just that powder sperm. Just sitting there powdery. Like powdered milk.
I ain't never blew out no fucking powder. Wow, that's dry.
You got old enough yet, too.
I guess so. Wow, powder. But I'm just saying that a lot of women, it's hard to suggest that it's just men, taking away women's rights. There's a lot of women, even women governors, are pro-life. I mean, so shit, you can't hate on the men when you guys are doing it to yourselves.
Right. Listen, pro-life and on the table while she's saying, I'm going to vote for that bill. She on the table having one as they hypocrites. I don't pay any of them any attention, but they really need to cut the crap. But listen, Tim, as far as Iran is concerned, them folks is not finna give up. Let me tell you something, Till.
You sound like you're rooting for Iran. You're not rooting for Iran, are you?
Let me tell you, Till. Trump tried to say that one of the top leaders over there and him were in negotiations. That man came out and said Trump is lying. Ain't no negotiating going on. We are not negotiating on anything. See, they thought it was going to be go over there and have a fun time. But them some fools over there, Tim. They get a life for their country. They'll strap a bomb to themselves and blow you up.
Damn.
They don't care nothing about that, Tim. These some nuts that they over there playing with.
Well, I think that after the ease of taking out Maduro in Venezuela, Trump just figured, hey, it won't be no problem taking this guy out too.
Baby, he need to figure again, baby. Because that figure he got ain't adding up. Because them some straight fools over there.
Yeah.
Tim, when I say straight fools, I mean straight fools. They not finna stop. They not finna give up, Tim.
So what ends up happening? We can't keep doing this all from the air. Are we going to put boots on the ground?
Of course he gonna put boots on the ground. That's the only way you're gonna be able to have some kind of leverage. Because, baby, from the air, it ain't doing nothing but raining. And them folks got a thunderstorm in the clouds.
How about this, though? Let me ask you, because in the comments, it's something that's saying that's why they are celebrating in the streets. He's suggesting that in Iran, they're celebrating Trump's work in the street. And Fox News is showing that right now.
Tim, you already said it earlier.
Yeah.
Do you think if something happened to Donald Trump, I'm gonna be crying?
You would be distraught. You would not.
No, I wouldn't, Tim. I promise you, distraught would not be the word. There are people that are gonna be celebrating.
Yeah.
There are people that are gonna be sad. Those people ain't staying over there. A lot of them because they ain't satisfied with what's going on. Because guess what? They would have did left. Yeah. Everybody over there does not go against what that man was doing. You got that in every country. You're going to have some people support the government, and you're going to have some that don't. Everybody ain't dancing in the street like they was dancing on the winds when they flushed the doggone wicked witch down the toilet, Tim.
Yeah, and that's what I think. What they're doing, because I mentioned Greenland. When Trump was talking about taking over Greenland, you had right-wing media showing people in Greenland wearing MAGA hats, talking about they wanted America to take them over. Same thing in Canada. Right-wing media has made it sound like Canada want. No, they don't want. You can find a few people in any country to favor what you think they favor. But the whole of Canada, the whole of Greenland, and I think the whole of Iran are not happy with the United States.
Exactly, Tim. I'm going to say this and then I'm going to go. Hey, Tim, you remember when Biden lost those 13 soldiers pulling out of Afghan?
Yes.
Even though it brought a lot of them home, they had been over there for a lot of years. And, MAGA and the Republicans were very upset. Oh, 13 soldiers, we lost our soldiers and this and that. And now they're saying, well, they signed up for this, and it's only a couple of soldiers. But look how happy the Iranian people are. Now, this man lost 13 soldiers, bringing our folks home, Tim. And they was having a pissy fit. Now they got an excuse, Tim. Well, it's only 3. It's only 4. But look how happy the Iranian people is. They're not under that leader anymore. They the worst hypocrites I've ever seen in my life. I guess the soldier lives don't matter. when your president in.
I can't
but
argue.
When he ain't in, they matter.
I can't argue with you on that because we've seen under the Trump administration, Trump 2.0, we don't give a fuck about the Iranian people.
Wait a minute, Tim. One more, and then I got to go. Biden was looking at his watch while he was receiving those soldiers. Trump said, I can't make a commitment that I'm going to go to the place when they bring them soldiers back. But you mad at Biden for looking at his watch, and he was there. But Trump said he can't commit to that. And y'all okay with that? That's
an excellent point. Takesha.
Just cut the crap out. Wow. All right, Tim.
You definitely delivered the goods on that. That is an excellent point. Thank you for coming through. Appreciate it.
All right.
And she makes a good point is that Biden got chastised for just looking at his watch while being there with the deceased. And Trump is indicating he may not even be there at all. And it's okay. That's a great point. And it's all, and as I was saying, when you look at the policies of the Trump administration in terms of deporting illegal immigrants and stuff like that, not just illegal immigrants, but also preventing new immigrants from coming here, we have shown no empathy or love toward the Iranian people at all. So the idea that now that we've taken out the head of state in that country, well, we really wanted to free the Iranian people. We don't care nothing about those folks. We're going to blow up what we need to blow up in that country, and we're not even going to do so much as fix the infrastructure and shit that we leave wrecked up behind. We're not going to help them out at all. As Trump is advising, you guys need to take your country back. Some of you guys get shot in the process or whatever. Don't depend on us for help. We're not doing anything for them. Now, taking out the head of that country may have, a residual effect in benefiting them. But that's not our goal. Our goal was to take out the head of state. If it benefits them, fine. If it doesn't benefit them, we're fine with that too. We were not doing that to help them out. We were doing that to help us out. And if it helps them out, so be it. But if we end up taking out the head of that country and they put somebody else in there that is equally oppressive to the people, but friendly to the United States, we will be totally okay with that. If that leader that we just killed in Iran was friendly to the United States, we wouldn't give a damn about him oppressing those folks and shooting protesters. What do you think they're doing in Saudi Arabia to LGBTQ and women that have affairs and shit? They're chopping heads off in Saudi Arabia. What do you think they're doing over there? Trump went and shook hands with Kim Jong-un. He does all of the same shit. He flew Putin over here and put him on the red carpet. These guys do the same stuff. So we don't care nothing about the citizens of those countries. We just want you to be friendly to us. You be friendly to us, then you can do whatever the hell you want. But it sounded good when to hear it coming from him. But no, we don't care nothing about those people. But I did want to give you guys a clip. I played this earlier, but I think it's worthy of playing again since we've been around for a while.
It is absolutely America last. It's the same bullshit we've seen. What is happening to the man that I supported, the man that denounced what happened in Iraq?
The war in Iraq was a big, fat mistake.
No more regime change. Promise it on the campaign. A year in, and we're in another fucking war, and we've got American troops being killed. All I can think about is the military-industrial complex. Those guys are lighting up their cigars, drinking their whiskey, and patting each other on the back because all they can think about is how much money they're going to make off the American taxpayers, making bombs, building new aircraft, building new drones, and building all kinds of military equipment just to kill people all over the world. While the American people, all they want is to be able to fucking afford a house, afford health insurance, and be able to maybe live the dream like the baby boomers did. They literally are trying to start World War III. It's completely out of control. It will never end.
You know this idea, you break it, you own it. I don't buy that one bit.
And Lindsey Graham, I saw a video of him this morning.
That mothership of terrorism has a hole in it.
He was choking back tears, swallowing back tears, because he was saying he was so proud of President Trump. He wasn't choking back tears for the American military members that have been killed and their families who are mourning their deaths right now. That's not MAGA. That is not MAGA. That's not America first. This isn't what we voted for. It's literally Israel first, and then where is it going to stop?
And I have to ask, why isn't MAGA agreeing with what she's saying? Because regardless of how you feel about Marjorie Taylor Greene, that she voted for is exactly what President Trump promised.
We will stop racing to topple foreign, and you understand this, foreign regimes that we know nothing about, that we shouldn't be involved with. We want to strengthen old friendships and seek out new friendships. Rather than a rigid dogma, we're guided by the lessons of history, and it is stability all over, and strength in our land.
So we're seeking to promote friendships and make new friends and stability. This is what he promised. This is what she said she voted for. She voted for what he promised. He ain't doing none of this stuff. You hear him talking about we're not going to be dealing with foreign countries that we know nothing about, foreign regimes. This is what she promised. This is what he promised, rather. And none of this is happening. I mean, Greenland taking out Maduro, none of this stuff is in this stuff. None of that stuff is in his campaign promise. So how is MAGA criticizing Marjorie Taylor Greene when Trump's administration has taken 180 degrees of what they promised? This is why some folks be yelling cult and things like that, because he completely switched, and folks are mad that somebody like Marjorie Taylor Greene didn't switch with him. I mean, you voted for, this is when people say, I don't like Trump, or, I like Trump. I don't like the way he acted, but I like his policies. These are the policies. This is the policies he's promised. This is not what he's doing. He ain't doing none of this stuff. Looking in the comments, Netanyahu has something on Trump. He said he's been waiting on this for 40 years. Wow. Well, I'll tell you this. They did also admit the heads of state in Iran, they've been following those folks around for months. They've been telling them for months. I'm going to tell you, when Trump said that they were negotiating with the heads of state and they weren't coming to the negotiating table and saying the right things or whatever, they were going to kill these dudes from the start. They've been following these dudes around, finding an opportune time to kill as many of them as possible. You sent all of these military assets over there and you're following this dude around. They were going to kill that dude from day one. They were just trying to find the right time to do it. It wasn't about negotiating with the head of Iran. His fate was sealed the minute we started sending all those assets over there. This dude is dead. They're not trying to negotiate with him. That's what they're telling you. They were intended on killing him from day one. Religion doesn't need brought up in every conversation. There's a time and place. We try. Do you know how hard those people fight? Iran is not giving up so easy. He just started a war that won't end. There are so many parallels, and I need you guys to tap the screen, get us up to 130,000. For you YouTubers, this is uncensored programming. We are MAGA friendly, always will be. Liberals are welcome as well. I have to give this spiel because I need you guys to tap that like button on YouTube, if you will. You enjoy uncensored dialogue from all sides of the aisle. That's what we do here most weekdays. So give us a sub if you enjoy this. If you're following us on TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube, or better yet, TikTok, Instagram, or Substack, follow the program. But I just think that we had plans to take this guy out from the get-go. And it does look like Netanyahu is the one that's telling us what to do, and we're just doing it for the sake of doing it. Blue One Banks, appreciate the support. Thank you very much. So continuing on, there is no more MAGA. I don't believe that. Aurora F. Fine, I think it says. MAGA's not going anywhere. Even if Trump perishes, the MAGA movement is here to stay. It may go into periods of hibernation, but MAGA is not going anywhere. The MAGA movement, very similar to, let's say, the Confederacy, where people wave Confederate flags or whatever. You don't see them doing it every day, but that will always be there. There are certain groups of folks that are to the right, generally far right, that flag is part of their movement. The MAGA hat will be in that same category. So it probably won't be uncommon in the future, 10, 20, 30 years from now, to see people waving a Confederate flag while wearing the MAGA hat. It's the same folks. Just like the Tea Party movement hasn't went anywhere. They're MAGA now. They're the same people. So MAGA ain't going nowhere. I don't think MAGA's going anywhere. Well, I appreciate them warning us who they are. Yeah. Well, I'm just telling you, you'll have people walking down the street wearing MAGA hats. Just like they walked in the street waving the Confederate flag. What's the difference between MAGA and the Tea Party? I don't think much. Now, the Tea Party was for small government, less regulation and things, what they claim. But so MAGA claims the same shit. And now they morphed into what Trump is standing for now. And I believe that the Tea Party, the folks who supported the Tea Party, the ones that were anti-Obama, that's the last time you really saw a resurgence of the Tea Party, was when they didn't want Obama to get elected. Most of them folks voted for Trump. Most of them folks are MAGA now. So it's still there. Anyway, let me go back to the box, and somebody says MAGA became everything they hated. Well, that's Trump. Trump is leading MAGA in that direction. America will be Trump's 7th bankruptcy, says Ali Wine. Yeah, but we all get to swallow that one. It's going to happen to all of us. That's the unfortunate part about that. Tamar, good evening. Welcome to the program, Tamar. Trump sold out MAGA to Israel. Yikes. Well, look, would Kamala Harris be anti-Israel? What do you think, Tamar? If Kamala Harris was in there, do you think she would be any less pro-Israel?
No, but she wouldn't be letting them do what they everything they're doing.
No, because I think Kamala Harris wouldn't be letting them do all that shit because the liberal Congress wouldn't be like the Republican Congress is. They would be stopping her from doing some of this shit.
Mm-hmm. It's almost like Israel is like baiting America in. Like they know that they can get Trump to do certain things almost. The way that Netanyahu, whatever the hell his name is, talks.
Netanyahu, go ahead.
I call him the Antichrist.
Damn.
The way, yeah, he's that evil. I mean, like they're striking schools. Did you hear the stuff he was talking to on Hannity? Oh my God.
Netanyahu is not to be fucked with. Netanyahu fights a fight like you normally would think where, some people believe that in war there should not be any rules. Netanyahu is one of those kind of people.
Yeah, and they prove it. How many kids? They talk about Iran doing terrorism. Look at all the stuff they've done in Gaza.
Yeah.
Look, how many churches? They've hit Catholic churches. They've hit hospitals. They've hit schools.
Shit, they were actually putting in food drops in Gaza and then shooting the people when they show up to get food. I mean, they don't believe in rules.
That's not terrorism?
Yeah, it is to me.
That's not terrorism?
Yeah, to me it is. But that's what just like with the Mossad, that's how they are. They don't believe in rules. When they come to get you, they come to get you.
It's evil. It's evil. I mean, like, it's unbelievable what's going on. And the whole thing is, I don't know, his name is Scott Bessent, the guy that was negotiating with Jared. That they were sending in Jared. He was on Hannity yesterday too. And he was saying, it was almost like they had a poison pill. What they were saying, he said that the negotiation was for them to get rid of their Navy, to get rid of their ballistic missiles, and then get rid of the nuclear stuff.
So just basically to be completely disarmed.
Yes, and he said that that basically, like, no matter what they was going to do, like they was going to do this.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, they agreed to get rid of their nuclear weapons, and then hours later they got attacked.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't think there was. I mean, because Netanyahu does not like Iran, and I had a caller. I think it was Den Keller. Somebody came on here, and they made the point that when Trump talked about making Gaza the Riviera of the Middle East, that groups like the Houthis and Hezbollah, being somewhat proxies of Iran, was not going to be for America and Israel owning Gaza, kicking out the people. So the belief is that Israel and America are getting rid of the Iranians so that there won't be anybody around of significance to protest taking over Gaza.
Exactly. No, not even Gaza. They want to take. They want Iran out the way so that they can, because Iran is possibly the biggest threat to them. So You say what's the end game? There is no end game. They just want to just disrupt their whole system,
just dominant,
and make it. Yeah, and just make it fall however they do. So they're gonna go probably bomb some more stuff, and then say mission accomplished, and just let it.
I got on News Nation, and they got I think I saw this earlier, but it's a breaking news ticker. It's saying 4 soldiers were killed in Kuwait. Did we lose 4 more?
I thought it was up to 6, right?
Yeah, that would be more than that. I mean, because I think we lost 3 or 4 of them in that first attack, and these are all white people. So the other ones were black, I think. So I think we're above.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is.
I got a family member in Syria. I just was texting her and telling her to be careful. My niece, she's in the army. She's based in Syria. So I told her to be on point, be smart, just do your best.
I think you got less to worry about in regards to the military. I think it's the citizens that are living abroad that need to really be afraid, because you don't have arms, and oftentimes they know where you are. I mean, you could be like Munich or something like that. I think the citizens are the ones that need to hurry up and get out of there.
And what's this? Everybody's talking about this war, and nobody's thinking about what's going on with the election stuff. And that's when he's going to make his moves. Like Mike was saying, I think he was saying something similar yesterday, to the fact that, we're being distracted with this war. Now they're probably going past that SAVE Act or some shit behind all people's back while everybody's focused on it's crazy.
It's possible. I mean, because I think they've made it clear via Steve Bannon that they're going to surround and oppose. Yeah, I absolutely believe they're going to try something with the midterms. Trump is going to. I mean, he's been getting away with executive orders so much. Why would he stop at the election?
Yeah, this has been the Antichrist's wet dream for a long time, and just like Lindsey Graham, my goodness, how is he even elected? This guy has no type of thing for America.
Trump
he doesn't even talk about his constituents. Is that how you say it?
Trump's blessing.
Lindsey Graham.
Trump's blessing is all you. Well, let me ask you this. In the comments, Sub 5 is saying something really interesting. He's suggesting check Al Jazeera, and I only have that online. I don't have it on the screen. But he says check Al Jazeera. They're saying Trump is lying about the numerical loss of troops. So in other words, it may be far more than just a handful, like we're being told. Think there may be any validity to that?
I wouldn't be shocked. And another thing is I guess they were trying to select a new supreme leader today. And Israel bombed the building that they was in today. I don't know from the reports that nobody didn't die, but you never know. With
I got folks in the comments that are saying reports are coming in saying as many as 500 deaths already have happened. Is Iran kicking that much ass? 500?
I highly doubt it. But what is Straight Talk talking about that little port is not closed? Aren't they attacking ships?
The Strait of Hormuz. I haven't heard it. Has anything been attacked in that strait?
Yeah, yesterday didn't they set fire to a ship that tried to pass through? That's what caused it to stop.
I don't know, but I think the issue is with the Trump administration, whether it's the Venezuelan boats, people eating cats and dogs, and the Greenland deal and all this. I gotta say, it is difficult to take the word of this administration. So I've been saying this since I've been doing lives, going all the way back to when Trump got arrested and gave his mugshot parameters down in Georgia. When he gives numbers, if the numbers can be exaggerated to his benefit, expect them to be. Like his inauguration crowd size was more than MLK's I Have a Dream speech. So if he can lower the number of American soldiers lost in this war, I think he would do that. I actually think he would do that because it's unpopular.
Yeah, because like you said, like you played earlier, he was getting on, somebody said about him getting on Biden about losing the 13 soldiers when we was withdrawn from Afghanistan, which was a colossal fuck up. Yes, I would say, but that was the negotiation of Trump's, if I'm not mistaken, correct? Didn't Trump negotiate? They were just basically abiding by what Trump had already worked out with the Taliban. if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he negotiated to get the Taliban back to Afghanistan. But what about this? In the comments, Gun B, this is disturbing. He says we lost a whole ship yesterday, 560-ish people. The Abraham.
I seen that.
Did they take down a ship?
I didn't think it was true. I seen it on something. I seen it on, was it Facebook? It was either Facebook or somewhere on YouTube. I seen like the ship like sinking, but I didn't think, I said, that's not true. And I just kept it moving.
Well, if it's whether it's true or not, we'll find out, because obviously the ship is being named, so you'll be able to. I mean, not to mention, you're not going to hide 560 deaths. That's a lot of people. That would be hard to hide. That would be hard to. And I see in the comments,
a lot of people talking about.
Yeah, you ain't gonna be to hide that. Mr. G says, had a maggot brain friend tell me that because Vice President Harris was married to a little hat, she would have been compelled to bomb Iran if she was president of the United States. MAGA is a piece of shit. What do you mean married to a little hat?
Her husband's Jewish. Because her husband's Jewish.
Oh, little hat. Okay. Wow. Wow. I never heard it called the little hat. A yarmulke. I get a yarmulke. Okay, so he said that he had a MAGA friend or MAGA brain friend tell him that because Vice President Harris was married to a Jewish guy, that she would have been compelled to bomb Iran if she was president. Well, I don't necessarily buy that, but I do believe that with AIPAC and stuff like that out there, you know, I saw somebody post in the comments of a Fox News video. It said something like, no matter who we vote for, we get Netanyahu. So the Biden administration was friendly to Israel. What'd you say?
It's almost like a divorce or something.
Yeah.
Like you always go, somebody gonna get the kid.
Well, they're taking care of people financially. They know where to put the right money in. So, I mean, the Democrats were not exactly anti-Israel either. So, kind of is what it is.
What we need to do. We need to get these foreign governments out of our government. That's what's something that needs to happen. Whoever is running next, that should be something that they should try to concentrate on, to try to get like AIPAC and out of our politics. That doesn't need to be there.
Yeah, you got to find somebody that doesn't like money to do that, because that's why they're able to do this shit. Is that the little hat people? I like that. The little hat people is buying their way into our government. They lobby to both sides. They're kind of like the NRA. They lobby to both sides. That's what Trump bragged about when he came down the golden escalator, when he was talking about the whole system is corrupt. He was like, I give money to both sides so I can get stuff done.
Yeah, but it's got to stop. It's got to stop, because now we're basically fighting their war.
How do you stop it?
Israel's war. This is his wet dream for years that he's been trying to get somebody to do, and finally they found the sucker to do it. Trump.
Let me ask you to you like this: if you had a teenage son or daughter and they were considering joining the military in this environment, would you do anything to talk them out of it? Would you support them, or would you try to talk them out of it?
I would try to talk them out of it. I tried to talk my niece out of it.
No. Now, are you military?
No, I'm not.
Okay, you're not. I'm just wondering, because if you truly feel that the military is being used for something other than good. I mean, because right now you hear it oftentimes the right saying that the Democrats are rooting for the enemy or rooting for Iran or whatever. And that's the point. That's the question I have to often ask is, if you think our government is doing something wrong, is it your patriotic duty to still continue supporting us while we are doing that wrong?
I think I would say yes, but even though but you can still speak against it because we have that freedom of speech. But to say, you don't want us to lose, even though you might not agree with what they're doing. You still don't want America to lose, because then what could happen? Something could happen over here with us.
Well, yeah, I hear you. I don't know if you're truly oppressing someone or taking their freedom or robbing them of their resources to leave them behind, looking like Venezuela or looking like Haiti or something like that. And you start rooting for them. Yeah, they may come back and harm some interest in America, but it could also end up setting thousands of people free in that country from an oppressive America.
I get it. I get that part, but that wasn't so. What? So when I was to go around liberating countries, that's what we're in the business now.
No. This is us going around and oppressing a country, and you rooting for the country to win against us oppressing them.
Yeah. That's interesting.
I mean, that's generally other than World War II, we haven't been liberating anybody. In most cases, most of the folks that have served in the military after World War II, in my opinion, and I know this might be unpopular, and I might take my share of criticism for this, but it's all about free speech here. You can certainly criticize me as you will, but I don't believe our GIs after World War II have been engaging in anything that was fighting for our freedoms. I think in most cases, we have been fighting to limit the freedoms of others. Going all the way Vietnam, all of them different conflicts, it's been us fighting to limit the freedoms of somebody else.
I agree. Shit, I agree 100% with that.
No. Because there's no way, I don't believe that Iran, I don't believe that Iraq, I don't believe that Afghanistan, I don't believe none of those countries was a threat to American freedoms, the freedoms of American citizens. I don't believe that. I believe we went over there to tell them what to do.
You know how many years they was away from being able to have anything that would be able to get over the Atlantic Ocean that Trump brags so bad about? Oh, the difference between us and them is that we have a big, beautiful ocean, correct? He said, you know how many years it was away from getting something that was going to be able to fire across from the Atlantic Ocean to America?
Yeah.
Never mind hitting New York or anything like that. Like,
not only that,
years away.
not only were they may they have been years away from getting it. What I don't like is the propaganda we tell ourselves that everybody is going to always be after us. Notice how the rest of the world don't think people are always trying to kill them. We're always talking about some nation need to be stopped because they're going to hurt us. Whether it's Iraq, whether it's Afghanistan, Iran now, we're always talking, the most powerful nation on earth is always saying that they got to do something because somebody's trying to hurt them.
Yeah, just like that guy said, the guy that said that Islam should be done. Islam is one of the oldest religions in history. And I'm not saying what happened on 9/11 was right, but you got to think, what drives somebody to actually fly some planes into a building?
Yeah.
Yeah. It took years and years of fucked up shit happening before they actually did something that drastic.
Yeah. George Bush tried to say they don't like us because we are free. They didn't like us because we're free, so they just decided to come and kill us.
No, we've been messing with that region for years now. For before I was born, probably before you was born. Yeah. We've been messing around in that area.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not over here, we're over there, but yet we keep saying that they're the bad guy. We're in their area. You don't see no Iranian or Iraqi or Afghani military in our area. We're in their area.
And I'm not 100% correct with history, but didn't they have somebody that was elected in Iran that was supposed to be a real good person? And I guess he left for some type of cancer treatment or something like that.
That's
when in the late 70s. That's when the head of Tola or whatever his name is ended up taking over the country. Yeah. Because America was supporting because they didn't want him to be the leader or something like that.
Our footprint.
I'm not 100% how.
Yeah, you're on the right path with that. That did happen. Our footprint is everywhere. A lot of countries on Earth that have either oppressive governments, dictators, or they're just living in rampant poverty. If you look in their history, Americans were there. We are our footprint. All of the countries south of the border, mostly the ones that are struggling. I mean, many of them countries have an American footprint there. And then, of course, obviously, the cartel that's slaughtering people. The only reason the cartel survives is they're getting money and guns from us. So our footprint is everywhere.
We talk about the drugs, the road smug or whatever they want to say. But they oh damn, I lost my train of thought. Hold on. Oh, okay. What I was trying to say is like everybody's for these Republicans are for laws and everything, right? Mm-hmm. But now all of a sudden they're okay with blowing up boats.
Republicans are for Trump. Republicans are for Trump. If Trump wants to follow the law, that's what they're for. If Trump wants to bend the law a little bit, like getting a third term, which is completely unconstitutional, they're for that too. Current Republicans, MAGA, but I'm going to say the current Republicans because they're kind of idly standing by and going with it as well. But they're for Trump. If like whatever Trump goes with, because I just played the clip of him talking about no more regime change and all of that, and they were for that when he was saying it because you hear him yelling in the background. Now they're for regime change with Maduro and now Iran. So wherever he goes, MAGA favors him.
How can you be about a nation of laws, but you're okay with blowing up ships without no what's the word I'm looking for?
Justification. They believe him.
Yes.
If he says they had drugs on them, that's all they need. I got to move it on tomorrow, but Trump's word is gold. So it doesn't matter. They don't need to see evidence. If he said it's happening, then damn it, it's happening. Appreciate it.
Tim, with the thing with the galaxy, maybe try asking like the person, hey, are you okay with somebody coming into it or trying to do it like certain days or something like that?
Yeah, I may do it on certain days.
It needs a little tweaking, but I like it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he definitely needs some tweaking. It's new. I like I'm non-confrontational. I like free speech and things like that. And when you got multiple guests up, they don't follow the same rules, so they talking all over each other and shit. So what I may end up doing
that
is
straight talk guy, he's out of control. This is voice, he's just like a little squeaker, and oh my God, he's
yeah, but they're gonna say the same thing about some of them liberals like Gangsta Grandma. They say the same thing see him.
That's what he says. Oh, that's what you're voting with, Democrats. That's who you're voting with. And yeah, and you can say the same thing. That's what you're voting with him. He's obnoxious. He's like a little child. He's just like MAGA.
He is MAGA.
Like a little kid.
He's proud MAGA. I gotta move it on. Tamar, appreciate it. Thank you. Folks, tap the screen. We might be able to get up to 150. That's asking a bit much right now, but tap the screen, get the likes on up. You happen to be watching us on YouTube, feel free to give us a sub. I need you guys on YouTube. Tap that like button. We're here most weekdays, so if you favor free speech, you're in the right place. Give us a sub if you happen to be watching on YouTube. You're currently watching us on Substack, Instagram, or TikTok. Follow the program. It's all about free speech. Left of Mom Donnie to I'm having dinner with Q. MAGA friendly format. Always have been, always will be. We do not have moderators. It's free speech. There is no moderator on this program. So understand you may hear commentary that you agree with and commentary that you disagree with. Appreciate the high five, D from Sanford. Is that Sanford, Florida? Been there a few times. That's where I think George Zimmerman and Trayvon Martin had their last hoorah down there. I think that's where that happened at. Anyway, looking in the comments, this event has to play its course because this event was prophesized. Yeah, I'm not very religious, but I get folks do believe that. That area is very, very religious. 20 minutes from Fayetteville. Okay, that's different then. You're not in the area I'm thinking of. All right. Anyway, I know people. It was, Anyway, continuing on with the program. How did I become Tito today? Tito, give me some tissue. What are you trying to say there, Mike? What are you trying to get at? Nothing that's going on today or with Trump is new. He wasn't as out in the open with it under the whatever. I mean, some of the things Trump is doing, even a lot of folks on the left are surprised. I mean, he's going for, well, first of all, let me ask you, Mike, did you expect, after seeing Trump 1.0, we knew Trump 2.0 was putting in loyalists and things like that, but did you expect the whole of Congress to just step aside and let him do whatever? Is that something you expected on Election Day?
Yes.
Really? I didn't think that would happen.
Yeah.
Wars, tariff the world. You thought they would just let him do all of that?
Of course I did. And again, I'm not being facetious when I say that. Of course I did. But you know what I'm about to say right next? Why did I know that, Tim?
Yes.
Because I
why?
fucking read. Because
Why?
I just read what they said they were going to do. That's simple.
Yeah, but
simple.
But you thought all of Congress would just step aside and let him do it?
Yes. And again, you played Marjorie Taylor Greene earlier, right?
Yes.
Did you watch that whole?
Hold on a second, but here's something. Did somebody say yes? Obama did the same thing. What way? Go ahead. Did I watch what?
Did you watch the entire Marjorie Taylor Greene interview with
No,
Megyn Kelly?
no, I haven't.
Well, she completely went scorched earth. And listen, I'm no fan of hers.
Same.
But what she's going through is what cult members that escaped go through. Right? She's going scorched earth. There are other MAGA voters that feel just like she does out there. They start to come radicalized themselves.
Yeah. Real quick in the comments before you continue, somebody said both parties wanted this war. That's why there is zero backlash. There's tons of backlash. What are you talking? And both parties did not want to go in and decapitate the whole of the Iranian government. That's a lot on whoever does that. Now we got to find some kind of way to have an exit strategy. Trump doesn't have that. That ain't there. That's not true. Go ahead, Mike.
Trump has zero exit strategy.
Yeah, that's it. That's not true.
Did you hear what he said today? So check this out, Big Boss, before you tell me stop the BS. You didn't watch your president talk about his lack of exit strategy. The people that he thought was going to have in place have been unalived.
Yeah, he did say that. Yeah, he did say that. They had somebody that they felt was suitable to lead the Iranians, and they made us they can kill them too. There's no way the Democrats wanted this shit because I mean you're gonna have more deaths, as the Trump administration is even telling you. After 20 years in the Middle East, you didn't have no Democrats want. Let's go right back. Let's go do it again with Iran this time. No, I don't believe that.
The thing. Not only did the Democrats not say that, the Republicans ran on not going over there. We need to stop fucking with people. That's on them. Let them deal with their own bullshit. Stop sending them aid. Stop doing all of that shit. That's what they ran on when Elon came in and they went to USA. They were cutting funding for all the humanitarian aid. Was cutting that shit left and right. So now you want to say that they're trying to liberate. Man, listen, Tim, these motherfuckers are so crazy. Let me give you an example. Straight Commerce came up here and literally started lying to you right off the jump. What he didn't tell you about the Strait of Hormuz, which he didn't show you, they never show anything. If you go out to the website where you can show all the ships right now, the maritime website right now, ain't nothing fucking moving.
So in other words, that strait is not open as he suggested.
Yeah, because Iran, they blew one of their own tankers, and they're saying anybody trying to come through, we're gonna set that shit ablaze.
Oh, so there is flammables in the water.
Well, there's flammables on the tankers.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good point.
I mean, you floating a gas can down the damn Hormuz. I mean, what else has to happen, right? It's just crazy. And by the way, gas has gone up
a lot
since Friday. Yeah. Gas has gone up. The longer this takes, the more gas is going to go up. The more oil per barrel is going to go up. There's no way getting around it. But let me tell you another fact that they're not paying attention to. You know where the bulk of our fertilizer for our agriculture come from?
No.
Just guess.
It ain't Iran, is it?
It comes right through the Strait of Hormuz. And guess what's coming up, Tim? What? Springtime.
Yeah.
The agriculture. So if they don't get this, fertilizer from there to here in order to ship, guess what's going to happen with our crops and with our agriculture and with our food pricing?
It wasn't well thought out, is what you're getting at.
Listen, it wasn't thought out, and Trump told us. Trump said, I don't have no fucking exit strategy. The people that I was thinking about putting in place, we accidentally unalived them.
And real quick, I just want to say something real quick. Currently, with 39% of the vote in, Tallarico has 53.5, and Crockett has 45.3. So he's beating her right now. So Crockett is losing to Tallarico right now and down in Texas.
Yeah, I'm looking at it myself, and I'm looking at some of the counties that still haven't reported yet.
Are they blue? Well, it doesn't matter. Well, if they're dark blue, there's more. Those are better for Crockett.
No, the light blue is for Crockett. The dark blue is for Tallarico.
Really?
Yeah, it's the opposite.
Wow.
It's the opposite.
Why is that?
I don't know. I don't know why they chose that, but you still have counties that haven't reported that may be leaning her way. So we'll see. I mean, she's got time. It's a closely contested race. But at the end of the day, I wanted to bring up a couple more things on Dummy instead.
Sure.
Talking about Straight Talks Commerce. They never, everything he was saying, he was talking about Google and go look it up. Yeah, actually, I was doing that when you were speaking if I didn't know about it in real time. And like I said, the Strait of Hormuz is at a crawl. They said 80%. Now, you can Google this and find at least a dozen sources that tell you.
Well, to be honest with you, it won't take you. I mean, whether you want to look it up or not, it won't take you. But as you said, a few days to find out. If ain't nothing moving, you're going to know that real quick.
You're going to know that real quick. And again, and so now we're up to 6 soldiers the last time I heard were unalive. And what, I mean, what,
do you believe there may be a possibility that the number is significantly higher and the Trump administration is not revealing that?
I mean, it's possible. It's possible. I won't go that far, Tim, because I don't know. I'm just reporting on what's out there. Is it possible? Yeah, because they're liars. They have no integrity. They have no character. Because this entire thing that we're dealing with, I want you to go back, if you haven't done it, I want you to go back and look at Pete Hegseth's press conference back in June when they bombed Iran the first time. All these terms of obliteration and all of these things and completely destroyed. It's going to take them over a decade.
Yeah.
So why are we here?
Yeah, Trump said something like, after that, they're never going to want to develop nuclear weapons again. Why would they want to? He made it sound like it was done. You don't have to worry about it no more. Yeah, he really oversold that. But like I said, if Trump is allowed to give you numbers or data, he is always going to greatly exaggerate that.
Yeah. So and another thing, when this happened, and I said it yesterday, I'm gonna say it again. When Tulsi Gabbard gave her report on this, she said they had not resumed their program. They were enriching uranium for energy, but this is what she said, not me.
Mm-hmm.
Trump came out and said, I don't care what she said. I don't care what she said.
Yeah, he said she was. I remember doing a live on that. He indicated she didn't know what she was talking about. Yep.
And then she came back and said, I was wrong.
Yep.
Right?
Said she didn't know what she was talking about.
Right. So now 8 months later, this was an imminent threat, Tim. This was imminent threat. I don't want to hear about this is the thing. Who took us out of the deal that Obama secured in 2015?
Trump 1.0.
Trump 1.0, right?
Yep.
But not for him doing that, we're probably not here. But and I told you, I'm not a Marjorie Taylor Greene fan. I'm not. But it's interesting to hear her speak about this because she said in that interview with Megyn Kelly, you guys should go watch it. She said, we were the aggressors. We started this conflict. It's U.S. and Israel did this shit. They didn't start it. We did. Now,
is she gonna be safe?
Yeah, she's gonna be fine, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because she's not by herself when she feels that way. Did you see Kristi Noem today?
No, I heard about that one. No, I didn't see it though.
Man, Tom Tillis ripped her ass apart. I'm not a Tom Tillis fan either, and he's no fan of Democrats, and he's no fan of progression or none of that. This is telling you that side of the aisle is literally starting to come unglued when they're this adamant.
Well, I think the issue is, like what Marjorie Taylor Greene is complaining about, you guys are telling us you're going to do one thing and doing the opposite, and then you're just all over the place. So some MAGA is going to follow Trump wherever he goes, but there are others that are like, we thought you was the next best thing since sliced bread based on what you promised. This ain't that. So some of them are descending by pushing back. Like, for instance, there are folks on the right that think ICE has went too far. Certainly when you got Kristi Noem, as you mentioned, talking about, Alex Preddy was coming at the ICE agents with a gun and he's a domestic terrorist. Like, this is on video. We can see this shit. What you're saying ain't true. So some of them are pushing back from that angle. Like, what we can see, some of this stuff, the lies are like really fucking obvious. Like, this is not true.
Yeah, and Tom Tillis told her that today. Tom Tillis went off on her today about that. He's conceded that those two unalivings in Minnesota should not have happened. He said he was laying down the gauntlet. If I don't have this information by this day, I'm going to do this, and this. If I don't have it by this day, I'm doing this, and this. He was pissed off.
Yeah, I mean, I've said in the program before, and some liberals got pissed off, is that I said I could see making a case to justify the death of Renee Nicole Good, and I don't see it in Alex Preddy's case. But even then, I admitted that neither one of them had to die. I'm just simply saying in the case of Renee Nicole Good, if you drive a car at an officer, I don't care if it's going 1 mile per hour, the cop is legally allowed to shoot you. He don't have to. He can get out of the way of the fucking vehicle. What happened in Renee Nicole Good's cases, that cop could have easily got out of the way of the vehicle. In fact, he did, which is why he was shooting it from the side of it. But unfortunately, the law does allow law enforcement to take your life if you're driving a vehicle at them. So that's why I said, based on those rules, I can see if you get the right jury where you might be to get away with it in the case of Renee Nicole Good. Alex Preddy's case was just straight fucking murder. You got to go back 11 days to even try to make the guy look bad when he was kicking out the tail. That ain't got nothing to do with this, though. That ain't got nothing. Well, you can't kill a guy for what he did 11 days ago. So, yeah, Alex Preddy case is terrible.
Yeah, and again, when we have these discussions, Tim, I want you to remember something about all of this stuff. And by the way, Fox News isn't doing any better. All they're doing is saying about all the different targets that we've hit in Iran, but they are not addressing what we're talking about.
No,
we shouldn't be there. We should not be there. There was no reason to go. And let me tell you something that nobody's talking about. And I'm actually conceding some of my time because I want to hear this more better. But they're not paying attention to Iran is in 40 days of mourning. Number one, that nobody's talking about.
Because of what happened? Because of us decapitating the country?
Well, Khomeini, their religious leader, that's their pope. They're in 40 days of mourning, part of their religion. And we're entering Ramadan. So you want to talk about disrespect on top of disrespect from their perspective? From their perspective. Now, I was on a debate earlier, and I was telling somebody, me saying this doesn't mean that I don't believe that there was a brutal regime and things going on there that I totally don't agree with. I'm not saying that at all because I feel that way. But however, what I'm saying to you is the United States, based on what he's done in this first year alone, booming boats, don't want to show nothing. We're unaliving people left and right, not giving a shit about none of that. Right? Not only do we not give a shit, they've been walking around here beating their chest about doing it.
Yeah.
So at what level are we having the same conversation? We have to be able to have the same conversation about tyranny, about dictatorial behavior, and all those things that make what we're seeing in the loss. Hey, baby. The loss of life and what's going on over there. We have to look at it holistically and say, if we don't agree with it, we don't agree with it. I'm looking at the only 4 pictures of U.S. soldiers I've seen are all white, for those that call me racist. Yeah. Each and every one of them should have never been put in that position. It doesn't matter. They never should have been there, because what happened to diplomacy? Everything that happened from Trump's first term set these people on a course. He sealed their fate when he got rid of that.
Our president will start a war with.
Go ahead.
Go ahead and play that. Go ahead and play that.
Well, this is you mentioned what happened to diplomacy. That made me think of this clip, but I was going to play that you dropped. But I'll give it a couple seconds. But you're not yielding a lot of your time at that point.
Our president will start a war with Iran because he has absolutely no ability to negotiate. He's weak and he's ineffective. So the only way he figures that he's going to get reelected, and as sure as you're sitting there, is to start a war with Iran. Now, I'm more militant and more militaristic than the president. I believe in strength. But to start a war in order to get elected, and I believe that's going to happen, would be an outrage.
That's him. He's saying that about Obama back when Obama was president. I mean, this aged like milk. I mean, this looks terrible compared to what's going on right now. That looks terrible, but
and I'm about to concede it right now because I do want to give him time. At the end of the day, we have to stop making excuses for this shit. And we got to push back harder, Tim. We can't let people dance around the facts. We shouldn't have been there. They told us they took care of this back in June. And now they're saying that they needed to go in and do this. We have to stop placating to this bullshit, because this is the very stuff that they complained that the left was doing. Even though the left wasn't doing it, even though they said the world was on fire when Biden was in office, and if Kamala got in, it would be even worse. And everything he said, what happened if she got in office, is happening under his watch.
Yeah, I don't see how we're better right now than the Biden administration we complained about. We don't like each other. The economy's not great. I don't see where all of the improvements are. Half of us don't like the other half right now. I'm not seeing it. Look, the border is secure. I'll give them credit for that. I guess the protection of, boys from not playing in girls' sports, but stuff that really matter, I don't see how we're getting better.
You ask those family members, if they would rather have their loved ones back,
right,
or a transgender playing in sport. And I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna say this. This is gonna be very unpopular to MAGA. I think MAGA, based on all the evidence, I think MAGA has fluid identity as well, because they move when he moves. They're trans MAGA. One day they're not for war. The next day they're for war. They say they're for war. They sort of, immigrate. They are about as trans MAGA as it can possibly be. Now they're not going to like that, but their identity is more fluid than a transgender person. Tim,
they don't like that at all. Mike, I gotta go, but they don't like that at all.
If he pivots tomorrow, they will pivot with him. They're about as trans as it gets.
Oh my God. I also identify as a Republican. I got to move it on, Mike. Thank you. Yeah, but it's hard to deny what he's saying. I know some MAGA is going to disagree with that, but look, he has changed on a lot of policies. He is doing a lot of things that he didn't campaign on doing. And he's not losing a lot of MAGA. I mean, so there is some validity to that. I see Terry Hayes says, "You clown." Well, explain how. Dude talking is dumb as fuck, says Leo. Well, you guys, look, I don't care about the insults, whether it's me or a guest or whatever. We believe in free speech, but when you got plenty of room to type, add in why you're saying you're a clown. Okay. For what reason? Add some shit in there. Don't make what you're doing makes you look like a clown. Look at motherfucker giving you plenty of room to insult. Say some good shit. Put some meat on the sandwich so I can actually. You might be right. You might give me something I can work with. But when you just type you a clown or put emojis in there like you've been playing with Crayolas all your life, that ain't saying shit. Anyway, looking in the comments, they say you're a clown because they have nothing to say, and that's what it does appear to be. No predator Trump needs to go vote blue and take the country back. How did Iran not protect these people knowing how Israel and America gets down? Well, America has superior firepower. So it's going to be hard to defend yourself against America. It's certainly when it comes to high-tech weaponry. Now, when we put troops on the ground, that's when you can start slaughtering us. But when it comes to doing shit from the air, we're a formidable foe. It's hard to deal with us. Ain't nobody got that. Nobody has as much as we do. I mean, we're the wealthiest country on earth, and we spend a ton of our money on weapons. We don't even take care of each other. We're the wealthiest country on earth, and we don't even take care of veterans. We got homeless people everywhere. People, we still got folks that have food insecurities. We buy weapons, period. We spend a ton of our free money on weapons. So we got a lot of good shit in terms of weapons, because we don't even take care of each other. We don't focus on education. We don't focus on health, and we focus on buying weapons. So it's going to be hard to deal with America because of that, because most other countries kind of look out for their citizens. We don't do that. We look out for more guns. And I'm in Puerto Rico. I was born in the Bronx, and they took my towers down. I'm going to vote for him. Trump ain't got shit to do with putting the towers back up. Iran didn't have shit to do with taking them down. What are you getting at? Iran didn't have nothing to do with September 11th. You just making up shit at this point? Hopefully China don't get involved because they want some oil. I think if this keeps going on, I think it's hard to imagine China not getting involved. Because once you start raising the price of fuel and things up for other countries, because isn't that what we're doing, is that we stopped Venezuela from exporting to our enemies like Cuba and I think some other, I mean, we're stopping them from surviving, so to speak. Cuba's doing really bad now because of the oil embargo from Venezuela. That's the reason the Japanese attacked us in World War II, is we stopped helping them out. We stopped them from getting oil and stuff like that. That can bring people out of hibernation. When you start trying to destroy their country, we're destroying countries in what we're doing. So, I mean, I could definitely see China either, maybe not directly, but proxy-wise or something like that. I could see that happening. You can only fuck with so many people at once. I mean, we got NATO member nations that are not even viewing us positively right now. Like, you getting us in shit that we don't need to be getting in. So I don't know. I don't want China to get involved in it, but you can't just keep making enemies over and over again. I want to go. We're not going to help me. You don't. Okay, the grammar of that is bad. As long as there are two sides that don't like each other, that's from politics to American citizens. They will have control over the narratives. True, but it's gotten a lot worse under Trump. Under Trump, we really don't like each other. I mean, there was division under Biden. There was division under Obama. It's significantly worse under Trump because it's literally coming from the White House. You didn't have Obama, Biden, Bush, or none of them being anywhere. I mean, look, Obama made a few statements. Biden made a few statements. I'd argue Bush made a few statements. Trump makes statements every day. Every other day he's doing stuff. Internet, stuff he said at the Oval Office, the way he talked to reporters and shit. Everybody that criticizes him is fake news. I mean, he does it all over the place. So we're never going to be united with division as our leadership. It's just not going to happen. Tim, is there homeless people in Australia? I don't recall seeing any of them, Tamar. I don't recall seeing anybody homeless. And I was in Brisbane, which is the third largest city in Australia. It's over 1 million people there. And I also lived in Sydney, which is the largest city in Australia for a while. I don't recall seeing anybody homeless. And they got the climate for it. You know, Brisbane is very similar to Southern California. Warm, tropical summers and mild winters. I don't recall seeing any of that. Now, I've been gone over a decade, so who knows? But yeah, I don't recall. But they also have far, far better social programs than America. Far better. They don't have grown people, making minimum wage. Minimum wage in Australia goes by age. So, they always say, a burger flipper don't need 15, 20 bucks an hour. Well, all burger flippers are not kids. In Australia, if you're a 40-year-old making minimum wage, it's higher than they would pay a 15-year-old. The minimum wage changes with age. That doesn't happen here in America. If you're working at McDonald's at 40, you're getting paid like the person that may be working there at 17. So I don't recall seeing anybody homeless there, though. I don't recall seeing any of that. I didn't see any either back in the 1970s. Yeah, same thing in New Zealand. I don't recall seeing it. I mean, those nations have much better social programs. America will let you fall on your face. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps means you need to figure it out. We're not going to help you. Miss Movetta, you've been highly recommended.
Of course.
What?
They love me like they love you, Tim.
Oh, okay. So you've been listening, and we covered a host of topics here.
Yeah, y'all was everywhere tonight. You had a couple battles going on and stuff.
The battle.
I took a whole bath. I was in the bathtub the whole time y'all was talking.
Oh shit! I should have brought you up. Shit.
You should have.
I remember the Salt and Pepper "What a Man" video. You're making me think about that. Shit, what a man! Pepper in the tub. Hot damn. Take me back to the 90s. Anyway,
take it back.
Shit. There's a scene with Pepper in the tub. But anyway, So what do you think? I mean, we're in Iran now. Noble deeds, good cause.
For what? I mean, it's a travesty because now you have people, you got families that having to meet their loved ones at whichever Andrews Air Force
The
Base.
bodies,
They
the bodies
bring the
coming back.
bodies in.
Flag draped coffins.
For something that has absolutely nothing to do with us. See, you can understand a little more with people signing up in the military to defend our Constitution, our freedoms, and protect our bases and stuff like that. But we are literally taking orders from a whole nother country, which is Bibi Netanyahu. Trump is his lapdog. But
I'm going to give you what I'm going to say. What Gangsta Grandma hates when I say this, but in defense of Trump,
of course,
the left is lapdogs for Israel too. It ain't just the right. It ain't just Trump. He might Trump is even more so.
This is what people are forgetting when it comes to Israel. You got Netanyahu treats his people like they do in Iran. See, when they're supporting, when you see people here supporting Israel, they're supporting the citizens. It's about the citizens. It just so happens they have big ears, that cauliflower ears, in charge there. He's no better than the man that they just took out in Iran. He's a piece of poop.
But how do you respond?
I'm trying to be better with my mouth, Tim.
But nothing wrong with that. I love when a woman says that. Those are my favorite words. But anyway,
with my language.
Hey, no, I'm talking about the first part. I'm trying to be better with my mouth. Hey. Well, let me ask it to you this way, because fact is, even liberal administrations have been saying that the Iranians are out of control, they're radical, they can't develop a bomb. Is Trump not just taking the initiative and doing what may have needed to be done several administrations ago?
I don't even want you to finish that question, Tim, because we know he's not. He don't even want to take care of the people here. What is he doing over there in Iran? Beat it. No, absolutely not. That's not why he's doing it. That's why I always tell you too. You have to pay attention to the why when it comes to certain things happening. Mm-hmm. So certain instances might appear the same, but they don't have the same agenda. They don't have the same goal, or they don't have the same why, the purpose of why it happened.
But I'm hearing folks suggesting that people in Iran are elated at what we've done.
They just like we are here. Half the country love you, the other half don't. Yeah. That happens. I think that happens all over the place because they're saying the same thing about Venezuela, and yet those people down there are on the brink of starvation down there because they don't have anything. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all were happy with Trump taking Maduro out, but what else did he leave you? What choices did he leave them? Nothing.
Yeah, I don't think we're doing this stuff out of genuine concern for the people. I think we're doing it to make sure we want to put in place an American or a Western friendly leader. Mm-hmm. Other than that, we don't care. I mean, as long as he's willing to do our bidding and he's not going to put a resistance to us, we don't care if he's feeding you or not.
Well, see, that's the thing. We constantly worried about things that's not affecting us, that won't bother us and stuff. That's like them here worried about like the conversation y'all were having earlier about the ABs. You're worried about what a person does to her body, a female does to her body, whether she keeps the baby or not. It has nothing to do with you, because she get rid of it. You're talking about that. That again, she has to answer to that with God. It ain't got nothing to do with you. What she eat don't make you shit. Then you're worried about the LGBTQ. You're trying to demonize them and acting like they're harming kids. And what trials are we looking at now? Ain't none of them on there LGBTQ.
You said what she eat don't make you shit. I like that.
It's the truth. It's the truth. Like, they worried about all of this stuff that has nothing to do with them. But again, you don't want social programs. You don't want to help out people trying to get a higher education. Well, we earned that. Well, it's frustrating some days because you just want to do some things that are not nice.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is also biblically related to where you're telling people how to live their life because they believe a lot of that stuff is in the Bible and you're living in sin.
But see, and this is what gets me, because how many pastors have just recently been charged with essaying little boys, Catholic priests and stuff? I'm not making that up either. TikTok, you can go look it up yourself.
We've covered it.
How about the Bible, the King James Bible that they actually carry around, hold in their pocket? That man, he was LGBTQ too.
Yeah. Have you heard of this though? Because I see in the comments, Angry Patriot is saying, while you guys are crying about this, they just elected the Ayatollah's son as the new Ayatollah in Iran. Have you heard anything about this? I haven't. I'm watching.
I haven't heard anything. But like I was saying to you the other day, while they were glorifying taking out the head man over there, his people are still in place. And if they were so we did this and we the top dogs, we wouldn't be receiving bodies of our soldiers today.
Yeah, and I mean, if it's his son, I mean, we seen what happened with Kim Jong-il and Kim Jong-un. I mean, when his son, I mean, it's the same type of administration. So, I mean, are we expecting the Iranian people to be treated far better with his kid in there?
Well, see, this is what I'm saying. Now people they have a real agenda. Now they're going to do what y'all claim they was doing already anyway. Yeah. So now, you know what I'm saying? They were over there kind of minding their business. Like, even if those people were suffering, I hate that people are suffering anywhere. Not just there. There's people that suffer here.
Well, they believe that Iran was, state sponsor of terror, and they were killing people all over the place. I mean, Trump went all the way back to 1983 with the bombing in Grenada. I mean, he even brought that up.
Yo, that man's diabolical. They really need to do a lobotomy on him. But it's crazy because they'll twist, turn, move the goalposts, pivots. They'll do everything but admit the truth. They admit where the fuck up.
Well, you heard Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Mr. G in the comments says, nothing boils my blood more than hypocrites. Same people that had a mouthful of hate during the Obama and Biden administration are the people telling you that you hate the USA.
Yeah, that's what they did. They hijacked the flag. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you're not a patriot. They waved that flag. Well, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they say that we hate America because you don't like what I'm saying.
Well, some people.
True.
I think. Yeah, I was about to say that. I think some people just think that their vision is the right vision. Like, for instance, Black Lives Matter. How criminal that was, but all of a sudden on January 6th, they became patriots. Or you look at all of the folks that have died that are of color, not complying with police, and the statement was always, well, if you comply, you would. And then when Ashley Babbitt, didn't comply,
that's why I call them patriots, Tim. Well, they're patriots. They ain't nothing patriotic about them. A bunch of patriots. As long as it looks good when we say it, it's all good. But when you say it, it's not true. Or you hate America. Or you.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
Unaliving babies.
Yeah, I get the hate.
Knock it off.
I get the hate America comments, in the comments all the time, and I often say that it's not anybody's place to tell somebody else whether they hate America, because you hear them say stuff like, if you criticize in America, if you don't like it, just leave. I'm like, when Biden was president, Trump was constantly criticizing America. Nobody told him to just leave. If you don't like it, then leave. I mean, he was criticizing it constantly.
Tim, you hear how he speak to people? He calling reporters stupid. Calling Miss Piggy. I don't know even what else to say. I do know what else to say, but I'm not.
That's your boy. That's who we elected. And by the way, folks, help your boy out with the TikTok cap go. I haven't mentioned that. Thank you guys for supporting the program. You getting hit up there too, Ms. Mobetta. That is your boy Mike looking out for you. But yeah, I haven't solicited that in over an hour. Go ahead. What you say?
But he talks to people like that. Like I say that, and I'll say it to the death. Your body is only good as your head. If your head is messed up, your body's gonna be messed up.
How about this in the comments?
It's not gonna work without the head.
How about nothing wrong with good head, but how about this?
I knew that.
Hey, I ain't got nothing wrong with some good head.
You're so fresh, Tim.
Thank you, C. Osby. User 750 says Kamala welcomed abortion clinics.
What?
That's what
Abortion clinics been around before Kamala probably was even
Whoa!
born. What the fuck is you talking
about? He's saying that the liberals are pro-abortion, not pro-choice,
but
pro-abortion.
See, again, do you see again? They are worried about stuff that has nothing to do with them. That's a personal issue when it comes to women and having ABs. That's her business. It got nothing to do with you. If you're not paying for it, and if it's not your child, it ain't got nothing to do with you. Let's talk about the kids that are alive already, attending school, and y'all don't want to give them fucking lunch. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. Well, they believe in pull yourself up by your bootstraps. They don't believe
we're not even going there. I don't even like hearing the word bootstraps. You know why? Because then it just takes me all the way back. It takes me back to the history that I've learned about this country and bootstraps. And we try not to go there because they always say we turn racist and stuff like that. Listen, when you deny that racism exists in this country, that means you're a part of the problem.
Well said. I can't argue with it. So at the end of the day, what do you think is likely to happen in Iran? Okay, we've decapitated the leadership. Well, I mean, listen, you might not favor it, but is it possible what Trump did can turn out good for the Iranian people, good for America?
I don't see how. I don't see how. I think it's gonna get a lot more expensive for us. Everything is going to go up. Our taxes are going to go up because we got to recoup this money from somewhere. Yeah. The money that we're spending on our fighter jets that people with MAGA reacts mainly talk about, oh, well, that's like a Corvette and that's from 19s.
MAGA be on his shit. MAGA reacts.
He needs to keep his ass off Grand Theft Auto.
Oh my
That's what he's doing, going on GTA and creating some shit and like, oh, well, this is the best and this is how that fighter jet looks. And like,
MAGA reacts be on it. But you gotta be laughing at MAGA reacts.
But I must say that they're not letting up the gas on these e-files. What they should have did, they should have left them Clintons alone.
I agree with the Clintons because when you look at it, no woman has accused Bill Clinton of assaulting her, and Hillary Clinton has not even been seen with Epstein. Yeah. Why the hell did they end up going first? That make no sense at all.
I don't know why they picked two of the smartest people out there. Do they know how smart those Clintons? They're lawyers. They're not only lawyers, they're professors. They're law professors. Why would you pick them?
I don't know, but when you look at all of the other folks that are in the e-files, I mean Hillary Clinton. I mean, you got pictures of him with Melania Trump all over the. Why the hell did Hillary Clinton go up there?
And she was telling their ass off too.
Yeah, they asking her about aliens and shit because they ain't got nothing to ask her.
Her opening statement kind of shut them down, and they were struggling to even find the proper questions to ask her.
But let me ask you this before we end up running out of time. 49% of the vote are in Texas. 611,000 votes to 513,000. Talarico is out front. Talarico is definitely out front.
I was watching that too before I switched devices. I was watching. He was out front. Yeah.
You think Crockett gonna be able to pull it off?
I'm hoping the people. It's a lot of people that have not voted. No, the votes are not coming in. So, I mean, at this point right now, if those people are not coming out to vote, then she may lose.
Why the hell in this environment would anybody not go vote?
You just have people that are some people are just not able. And a lot of the things are the reasons why they're trying to hinder people from going to the midterms with like this SAVE Act and stuff like that. You have people that are just not capable.
You got people saying that this may be your last fucking time. You gotta vote in this one. We've heard this statement our entire lives. This is the most consequential
They should have been
election.
calling Uber to go vote if they had to. Call and listen, call your neighbor. You want to vote? Can I catch a ride? Listen, they need to act like their lives depend on it.
Yeah. I mean, you've heard this statement your entire lives that this is the most consequential election in ever, but they mean it this time. This is the most. That's a fact. It actually means it this time.
That's a whole fact. This really is. It's a pivotal moment where I've always said that anyway. The midterms has always been more. For lack of a better word, it's bigger than the presidential, I should say, because in a normal life, when it comes to this country and stuff, it's the senators and the Congress and all of that stuff. Those are the lawmakers.
You don't normally have everybody bow down to the president.
And people are not kneeling down to no one president, no one person. It's never been that way. It's unprecedented.
And they're gonna have to come up with. They're gonna have if the republic or democracy, whatever you want to call it, remains intact. They're gonna have to pass laws to prevent one dude from having this much power in the future. There's gonna have to be some probably some anti-Trump laws.
They're gonna fight hard because, like Steve Bannon said, I mean, a whole lot of them could be in jail. And that's some real shit, because it's some really serious things going on that they are trying there.
Yeah, but what about what I've been saying is that
put their heart on the line.
Yeah, but what about what I've been saying, that if you end up getting, let's say you get a Democrat in office and the goal is unity and to get past all the division, you're not gonna go lock up the whole Trump administration and maintain
him up. Lock him the fuck up.
You're not going to get. You're not going to get. You can't do to Trump or to the Trump administration what he was seeking to do to his enemies. Even though they may deserve it, I'm not trying to say they're not. Some of these folks like Bannon and some of them may not have committed crimes, but if you go around and lock up the whole of the Trump administration, you're not going to get unity doing that. They're going to think it's witch hunting.
At this point, they show they don't want to unify. So why give unity? Lock him up. Lock them all up. Lock them up. Even the Democrats that side with shit like that, lock them up. Hey, I don't care who it is. Lock them right up. I'm sorry. That's what they wanted. If they wanted unity to be some now. Right now, we'd have Melania and Trump in front of that concessions answering questions instead of Bill Clinton and Hillary.
Yeah, the bill, to me, making Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton testify is obviously a partisan hit job. There's no way it should have started with them.
Of course. We all know what it is. Come on now. And they like she said, why is it y'all talking about, he answers questions in front of the media every day? No, that's bullshit. That's not question. You ask him one question about something, he say, I don't know nothing about it. He denies it, deny knowing people, deny this, Ghislaine down there giving her damn near birthday parties and shit with a puppy. Like, get the fuck out of here. Get out of here.
He does go in front of the media more than Biden did. I mean, he don't always tell the truth. I get it.
And
but
he lies more than Biden do too.
Well,
that doesn't change something just because he go in there and bloviates every goddamn day. He's straight up lying. The evidence be in their face, and MAGA still buying to that bullshit.
No, but I will say in one thing about President Trump, that if the next president, I do like a president that talks to the people a little bit more. I want him to be honest, but I do like the fact that he talks to the people.
You know, the more they tell you a lie, the more you hear that lie, the more you start believing it. So is that what you want to do?
I want him to be honest, Miss Mobetta. I want him to be honest, though. I don't want him to lie. I want him to be honest.
I mean, so who gonna call him out on it then?
Normally, people would do that. It's just Trump has got a special amount of power. It's been special for Trump.
And one thing before I get out of here, what I would like for them to do, stop saying that, God, it's nothing about Jesus Christ that is Trump. I'm sorry. I love to be the bearer of that bad news. There is nothing Christ-like in Trump.
Well, he sells Bibles.
Y'all need, upside down ones that put the Constitution in the doggone Bible. Like, the devil is a lie. I told you before, Tim. when Satan got kicked out of heaven, he took a third of them, of the angels with him.
You're not saying that's MAGA, are you?
How many people support him? A third of this country.
Oh my God. I gotta go, Mr. Mobetta.
Playing. The numbers don't lie.
I gotta go. You're scaring me. Miss Mobetta? Pleasure. Thank you.
Catch me earlier next time, Tim.
I'll see what I can do.
When I was in the tub.
What a man, what a man, what a man, what a man. I'll talk to you later. I gotta watch that Salt and Pepper video now. I gotta see Salt in the Tub again. Appreciate you folks at the 154th hour, but I do gotta step away. I got a little bit of issues to take care of. Follow the program if you're watching on Instagram, Substack, or TikTok. It's your boy Tim the Handsome Liberal. I got to go. Thank you. Catch you later. And thank you on YouTube as well.